Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist-humanist philosopher and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, agnosticism, atheism, antitheism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheists can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudohistory, pseudomorality, things that are found in religion. I support realism, axiology, of course, liberty, justice, ethics. I am also an anarchist socialist. I support anarchism and socialism, progressivism, liberalism, philosophy, psychology, archaeology, and anthropology, advocating for sexual, gender, child, secular, LGBTQIA+, race, class rights, and equality. So if you can guess from all that, I support or challenge that I have an eclectic variety of videos on a variety of topics. Please take time to check them out, as well as if you enjoy them, please give them a like. And don't forget to subscribe, as new things are on their way all the time for my channel.
Check, check, check. Check, check, check. That's too high. Check, 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 check. Okay, good. How's it going?
Yeah, it's been going. It's been a rough week, really, but I've been having a lot of PTSD like a motherfucker, man.
Oh, was that right?
Well, the problem is it's hard for some people to understand. Like, our childhood had extreme child abuse, not just regular, but like sick shit that's fucked up. So, anyways, my point is some of it involved for me starvation or like things about food and me not being able to get it or whatever. A whole bunch of crap I'm not going to go into, but
the point I'm trying to make is that when I see people suffering, like say capitalism, say like you can see why just naturally it like feels vile to me, like an attack to me personally. You see what I'm saying?
Yep, for sure.
Like when I see kids suffering and not eating, I don't even want to hear why. Why? There's no justification that's going to come out of your mouth that's going to make me believe it is okay to let a kid starve. Period. I don't care.
Yeah.
Nothing. Period. Nothing. See, it worked. That's how I feel about it. Just like that, like I feel like, and people are like, oh, well, just think, if it was your kid, would you really argue with me? Am I really saying something so crazy if it was your child?
Yeah,
No,
absolutely not.
In fact, see, so it's only crazy because Damien, the sick idiot, applies it to every child in the whole universe or whatever. I want all kids on the planet to eat. See, anybody that doesn't have that value, that's like you asked me before about politics. That's why it's really complicated. Because I really care about his values, you know. So I really don't care. I want to hear the values. The values are good, then that's what I support. Because I support the value, not like a person, a thing, or whatever. I'll never worship anybody. We're not even my fucking self, and I think I'm pretty great. But I wouldn't even do that because fuck that shit. But it was not anyone else too either. But my point is, because that's not value. See, to me, that's the world. This because it to me personally, it goes back to the class system for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to worship me, you are saying, I love the class system. That's all I hear. Love it. Right. I want it in my life. I want kings and masters. I'm just saying how I feel. Fuck that. That's why I never worship anybody. I respect people. There's a lot of people I respect. See, the problem is shitloads of them aren't famous. Because that's not how I decide who's valuable.
Yeah, for sure.
I find someone valuable. I can give a shit they have no followers at all. Zero. In fact, they never could have followers. Like the rest of the universe could never give a fuck, hate them. And if I like them, if I value them, then I value them. Period. Because I don't use the world's. See, because I see it, the truth. It's this cold capitalist structure. That's why I said the problem is, like I was even arguing with the socialist historian, who I do like from Denmark, Norway, I think.
Okay.
Because I remember, I want to be accurate. And I don't want to say his name or anything, but I'm just saying I'm not trying. My point was I wasn't trying to miss, the country.
Right.
But anyways, so I like the person. So I feel he's cool and smart and intelligent. And I really wanted him to join us, but he said he's only his phone. He doesn't know how to do it. So, but anyways, great stuff. But we were talking about capitalism. And see, the problem, like he said that there's no capitalism, he thinks, until whatever. But I was like, no, I don't agree with that. First off, there is people that besides me, so it's not like just Damien, because there's things that is just Damien, and I back him up. But this is not just me. Some other historians also feel the same way. They call it merchant capitalism. I would not call it that because I don't like their words. I would call it arcane capitalism because I think that that's what it was. And this is what I always find interesting about thinkers. Now, I'm not putting this other person down. He's a great person. So just understand now I'm removed from that. So anything I say is not anything to do with that. Just everybody in general. Okay. Everybody in general. I always am more impressed when I say something that you ask a question instead of start talking. Because especially when I talk, I usually talk so big, so broad, or about things so strange that you should be asking some questions. But it's funny, people don't. People start talking and telling me what they think that I know or they know about, I think. Or should have asked the question. Should have said, why do you think that? See, that's always... But see, I guess I'm a rationalist. It's hard because I don't doubt nothing. The first time someone brings something, I think, what the hell is going on? That's right. I mean, I don't know anything. What are you doing? So I can't make a judgment yet. I don't even understand. I don't make judgments without understanding. Otherwise, I just don't believe it. Or I have no concept to believe in a sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't. but I don't consider that a thing because I have not referenced it. I don't consider that in a sense agnostic because all I've said is I just tabled it for a second because I don't know. So I'm going to look into it. Like that's like imagine if that wasn't true. Like that you said, or I say something right now, and you have to know, like immediately. You can't, think later. Just imagine a world where we don't allow ourselves to ponder and think on things. I mean, I can think pretty fast, but the rest of the world, not so much. Even me, though, I need help. Just like I've said before, which people think it's crazy because I'm really high thinking. But you have to understand, my high thinking is like limited, though. Okay, seriously. I want to explain this because it'll sound crazy, and it is kind of, but it still makes sense.
Okay.
First thing for me, right, to explain to people that happens is you have thoughts, just random. They generally come from feelings or somehow relate to feelings because that's just how we're made up.
Yep.
Okay? But so thoughts are related to feelings, or feelings happen because of thoughts, either vice versa, because in a sense, like I said, they're related. So they don't really happen by ice. That's why people, when they go, well, I'm logical and I'm never emotional, like,
you can't actually separate them.
Here's a clue. I heard it from a neuroscientist. He said it very clearly. I like it when people say it clear. The mind, whenever it is awake, it is emoting. Period.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as I'm not emotional, okay? Done. The mind is what logic means, just so people understand. Okay, so first I'll explain. So I got that down. Now we're at baseline. So Damien can help you understand how I think. So you understand, boom, where we're at. And the first thing is, so now these feelings happen that generate, or usually activating event. Let me explain it better. Activated event occurs. Feelings result. Or whatever. Sensations happen. Feelings result. From that, thoughts happen. Right? Explain it all for people. Anyways, but it's not really magic. I'm just trying to break it down little steps to make you understand why it's logical. Because you need to understand how to take logical steps. It's like a ladder. You don't just jump 1,000. That's not a rationalist. A rationalist goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone else is like going, it looks high. That's like to me personally, how skeptics see. It's high, and I'm like 5, 6. I'm still walking, and they're like, "It's we're seeing what we should do." I don't know it. I'm 7, 8. I'm thinking. I'm still going up to think because that's just how I think, and I'm not trying to say like some sort of like attack to anybody. I'm just saying that methodological rationalism breaks everything down and actually makes it easier to accomplish many things.
Right.
Because it's a way of slowing down thinking beyond critical thinking and down to like a microscope where you can just go deep, 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 deep. Because actually that is how you should think to get to real, in a sense, understanding of things. Because the problem with most people, why skepticism without Damien, in a sense, is very important, but is because people make up shit all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So bad. And cannot think, fuck all. That we have to, in a sense, have some reaction other than, like I see, because the difference is skepticism is a way of trying to prevent bad thinking. Almost like, in a sense, aversion to anti-critical thinking or something.
Right.
So when people understand my thinking is so deep and different that when I say things, sometimes it may sound like I'm being critical in a way that I may not be exactly. Because I'm really trying to say to you, like I tried to say this one skeptic, he said, skepticism is the greatest. I said, wrong. I'm not saying skepticism is not good, and you can certainly call yourself a skeptic. But if you're talking about philosophy, now your opinion could be different. But if we're talking about philosophy and how we get to truth, what you just said is unjustifiable.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, but yours is wrong. Reason actually is a demonstratable, reproducible, methodological way of ordering thinking that generally produces more accuracy in results. And that actually can show why it is So important. And like I was saying, so go to reason. Now we're going on to my thinking. So we start at reason, and then in a sense, sound reason, which means accurate in a sense that's it makes sense. It can't be just wild and crazy. So once it's sound, so right reason equals logic. Because what logic is, in a sense, is ordered reason. It's like math. Like what I mean by that is ordered in the sense that I say, nope, sorry, I get to speak first, Cory. That would be, in a sense, an ordered set of something. Not saying that one's better than the other. I did not make that judgment. Some people immediately, because of our class system, do that.
Right, right.
But that's actually bullshit, because I don't agree with that at all. I think Cory's amazing. So what the fuck? And I also don't, there's another thing too. See, Cory can do things I cannot do. I am like a spaz, not because I'm trying to be, but because I'm a sociopath. So I do not sometimes come off to people in a way that can get to some people. I can get to a lot of people, but there's some people that are just scared shitless by me or just put off by me in a sense, where I know your demeanor is much more approachable and, in a sense, I would say, if I was trying to be a counselor, appropriate. But you know what? I get to gang kids because they're like, that dude is real as shit.
Yeah, there you go.
But I wanted to say something too. But so is Cory. See the value of Cory? He can also be different than me, and better than me in a way, and yet didn't change a thing, didn't change his position, didn't make it a war between me and him. I really understood. But anyways, so that's what I was saying too, like the historian dude. I want to hear his ideas. I'm not saying I agree with everything he said, and I definitely don't agree that he thinks capitalism, only started a long time ago. Yeah, but then I'll go, okay, but socialism didn't, right? And then how are you classifying that? And why does that get a special pleading that capitalism doesn't get? Now, anyways, and because he said, okay, I agree that money came first and labor, trading came first and markets came first, and then elite, funneling money to elite. So you mean capitalism? I mean, I'm not. Once again, I'm not talking to him. I'm just saying how I hear it. It sounds for a rationalist. Okay, so you're like checking off. Ruling class. Yeah. Oh, bosses. Right. Oh, they have to strikes to get fed and to get their daily wage. Oh, even they cheat them from their wage. Oh, and then they give them crappy housing. Like little communal buildings they built from, like the company.
Sounds pretty familiar.
Company store, because they built the bar right there. Right, they have the alcohol thing because they're supposed to get alcohol rations, by the way. So they have them right there because they need to be right there, because it's not like they're going to transport. It's not like today where they transport alcohol. Alcohol's got to be made where you're working. Anyways, or reasonable. They're not going to carry this heavy ass liquid all. Anyways, but my point is, so, and I told him, oh, well, here's this. I gave him the picture. I gave it to you too, of the pharaoh, because I gave it from Damien's perspective. And like I said, I'm not claiming to know. In fact, I heard a thing about Marx that I didn't really like, and I disagree with 100%. That he said that the worker not achieving their full earning of their labor is not an immorality. And I go, yeah, to me, it fucking is. So I'm not claiming.
Yeah.
So I saw someone. By the way, who posted this is a famous on Twitter anarcho-communist. I believe. I'm not. I'm not as hip on you. You probably know who it is. I
could be.
I don't know exactly who they're famous, but that's not why I follow. I follow a whole bunch of anarchists and socialists. I don't give a shit. It's like they're like, I'm this, that, and I go, yeah, whatever, cool. Whatever.
Yeah, if you're on the left, I probably follow you.
I want to hear I'm anti-capitalist. I'm like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
Please. That's I told you, that's my biggest thing. And that's one guy he posted on my thing, I'm a capitalist. I go, okay. Like, what am I supposed to like? Dude, I got shitloads of friends that are capitalists, so Oh, actually, I want to make you feel guilty, though. So please stay.
Right.
But no, actually, don't want to make you feel guilty. I want to make you be a person of honor. And a person of honor feeds fucking kids. And it doesn't give a fuck about bullshit. We don't have money. But bullshit, then something needs to go. That's what.
Yeah.
What do we need to fucking sell? Oh, we need to sell the White House? Let's do it. I'm fucking sick. To me, there'd be at zero. And like I said before, I will vote, and then I told also that I also feel like then you go out in the street and do something for real because that shit is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
What it is, it basically is prevention from worse shit. But that's all you try for. I mean, if you think that's like a goal of mine, you're fucking crazy. That's why I go and try to feed kids for real. I've gone and to orphanages. I've given money to children in Africa. I've gone down to Mexico and fed kids and stayed there all day and gave a pizza party and stuff. And it's so crazy. They're trying to talk to me. I thought, inappropriate, right? Here I am. I'm paying all this. Even paid for a pizza party. There's like, I don't remember how, like 6 or 8 pizzas or something. I don't know. Because I didn't care. You know what I'm saying, Cory? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In fact, I felt so guilty that I didn't bring more. Seriously,
right.
My own. That I had a box that I was going to give them all the stickers right out of this box. I bought a fucking epic shitload of stickers to give the kids because I felt it was something that's theirs, like a toy. It's theirs. Nobody can take it. You know what I'm saying? Because once you stick it, it's like it's fucking. But anyways, so they start sticking, of course, every fucking where. But anyways, I just want it in its joy. To me, it's just, and I got ones, dinosaurs and things and what and that, because it's just joy. I got just shitload of those, shitload. Oh, that'll do it. But then I actually felt bad that I didn't bring more, seriously, but it's me. When you see kids suffering, that's why I said,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a fucking excuse.
Yeah.
Except I'm going to help the kids. But I'm saying that's how I feel. Because, dude, and like I said, the one kid wanted to hold my hand. You know what I did? I don't even like shit like that, by the way, from being abused. I really don't like being touched. Even in sex. A chick touches me a lot. I start going.
That's fair.
But it's really not. It's not them. But it's like I don't like,
right.
Which happens to be a shit lot. People come start touching my head. Even women I was attracted to. It has to do with feeling raped or whatever. I do not like being touched without being asked. It either makes me feel like a little kid victim or it makes me want to rage. So, but either way, don't do that because either you're making me feel bad or you might feel bad.
I think not touching people without consent is a good rule in general. So,
dude, I've had people start stroking my beard. I'm like, what? Take my glasses off? I'm like, what the fuck? I wanted to see your eyes.
You can see them just fine.
So yeah, I agree. It's about consent. But I feel like people with me, they just feel like that they can do whatever they want. It's bizarre. Or they'll come up to me out of the blue. I'm just walking, right? They go, "Are you a wrestler?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then or they go, "I know you're a biker," and I'm like, "I'm not a biker." And do you randomly just walk and say things to people? Because you know what? You look like a child molester. He goes, "Oh, that's not fair." It's not fair to call me a biker. Fucking dickhead.
You don't know anything about me.
Fuck. But it just, so I feel like I get assaulted a lot in public and in a way that I don't know, maybe other people do or don't. I don't know. But it happens to me.
It happens to me. So
what's that?
That shit never happens to me. So
well, it happens to me a fuck lot, and I hate it. But anyways, but here's the thing, I try to be understanding, Cory, because you know what? That's why I try to teach people about things. I just go, is this my ego that's hurt or is it me? Because me really tries to care about people and be understanding. And I go, do these people know? I mean, our society is so, because it's a double standard, right? Women can, in a sense, touch me all over the place. I've had women touch my chest, and if I did that, I'd go to jail. Mm-hmm. I'd be a sex offender. I'd be fucking registered.
Well, and rightfully so. But also,
you know what I'm saying. But I can be violated like that, and nobody gives a fuck But just like
Yeah.
I was, and since molested as a child, and nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
But if I was a woman, they'd be like throwing parties and shit. And here's the thing, though. I'm not saying don't do it for women, but why the fuck don't you do it also for guys? Or for people that are intersex, or for people that are trans, or prefer whoever or someone who's non-binary, or whatever the fuck. Here's the thing, intersex. Why don't you treat the person like a dignity being? And that's what I was telling you before. To me, it's that simple. And I saw why you need to. Because when you don't, boy, it's easy to see other people as not people. Yeah. Let me tell you, when you start seeing other people as not people, I hear a bunch of what I thought were good people saying a bunch of not good things. Like, let's kill people, or let's cut their genitals off, or just a bunch of
I've seen a lot of that.
Cut their heads off and stab them. And I'm like,
I see a lot of people lately talking about like pro death penalty when it comes to certain people. And
I'm against it, by the way.
I can't. Like, if you are pro death penalty, then we will not get along. I do not approve.
I totally agree. And to me, it goes back to this. Violence, to me, is really limited to a justification of self-defense and other defense. And even in self-defense, it has to be reasoned. This goes back to where someone said to me, well, Damien, if you had a machine gun and you were, because I'm violent, right? If you had a machine, because I will kill someone if I had to. That's just so people know. I mean, I would shoot some motherfucker if I had to. I don't want to. This is the difference. I feel, and I'm not putting down psychopaths, but people, sometimes to me, they can have like more like desires to do things, malicious in a sense.
Right.
I may do something malicious as a sociopath, more like careless. Because, like, I don't give a fuck. But then your rights do matter. But I'm actually not giving. You see what I'm saying? It's more like, instead of like, oh, I like you hurting, it's more like, I want to do this and get the fuck out of my way, or whatever. And not caring that you have rights and this is yours. And I just took it, and which I did before. Just walk up, hey, I'm taking your fucking shoes. What size are they? The 10s? Oh, I thought they were 10s. Fucking, they're going to fit good. Take them the fuck off now. But my point is, I'm trying to show people too, this is the kind of behavior that a person who is running on ego like a fucking maniac, drunk on ego, right? So much so that blinded to the world. That's what's good. To me, that's why I was saying, I'm a sociopath. It's hard for me to care, but not really when I figure out the dignity being thing. That's like, it's easier than, okay, everybody's a dignity being. Everybody's equal. Everyone has rights. Fuck, that's not hard. I have rights too. I mean, it's super, super fucking easy all of a sudden. They have right to abortion. I don't know. Does dignity being have right to their own body? Well, yeah. You already know the answer.
There you go.
Can a person drink alcohol to you? I don't know. Are they an adult? Yes. Can adult dignity beings do something they want to do with their body? Well, yes. Well, then you got the answer.
There you go.
I feel like when they go, you need to have some large moral system. I'm like, no, I don't buy that. In fact, people are like, there's no morality. I go, I guess you've never tried to talk to me, because that bullshit statement will be fucking smashed. Please try. Anyways, no, really, I'm not about done, because I was telling you, I'm 15 years. Actually, I could, but my point was I could do it. Just I'm done. Yeah. But I just did it before I came here. This person tried to go, hey man, if you're an atheist, let me hear your argument. And I go, my argument? My argument actually is scientific, archaeology, and philosophy. That is why I'm sure of what the fuck I think.
Right.
And I have shitloads of evidence, anyways. But so, and the point was, she felt that I had some burden of proof, right? And so then she says, well, remember science, blah, 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 blah. And I said, oh, that sounds like a burden of proof claim. Holds a responsibility. And she goes, oh, well, you think is that an evasion of your burden of proof responsibility?
Yeah.
I said, I'll wait. But that's my point is, so, and then she tried something else, and I told her, you need to understand, I'm a rationalist, not a skeptic. I appeal to reason, not doubt, and I have very little value for skepticism. To me, so people know, just it. First off, I do value. It's kind of confusing, but to me, I'm just well, because I do value that you guys use it, because you're not, in a sense, as eloquent as me with rationalism. If you guys got better with rationalism, then
that's where we would be.
Well, because it's harder. So I'm not saying there was, so there would always, to me, just so people understand, because I know I'm confusing sometimes. Let me try to be clear. There always should be a skepticism movement, because it definitely caters to people that don't have to be fucking geniuses like me. Just so I'm not saying that get rid of the skepticism movement. I'm just saying there also needs to be a rationalism movement, and I'm fine if they go together also.
Sure.
But there should be one where we do say the word rationalist, and it means something and people understand. Not that they can't be that's something different. And I'm not saying they have to be my kind of rationalist, but I think I give a lot of reason why mine is about the best, because it's methodological, and believe me, that is fucking good. But anyways,
that's kind of an important piece.
But this is important too. The reason why, and I wanted to go on this, you need to know how a person thinks who's giving you information that you're believing. Because so far, I don't remember now, there's 8, 9 videos or whatever, because I know 5, but I think there's, or maybe still 6. Maybe it's yeah, but I don't know.
According to my list here, we have, this is supposed to be number 7. So
okay, see, I got confused. You're right, 7. Sorry. Yeah, we are 7. I'm the one's confused. But anyways, my point was, I'm saying is that if all these things, right? I say a lot of stuff. It would be good to know that I'm a trustable thinker. See, because before, I'm just trying to get people to understand. Everybody, not just me. Because I want to build you as a leader. I don't want you to ever think like you fall on it. I will go fight all your battles. I'm fighting shit for you. I want to make you a warrior, all of you warriors, all of you leaders go out there and make more leaders and go take over shit. Anyways, so what I'm trying to teach you is a way to do things. It's giving you the power that I have to be able to grasp how to do it. So you break it down, which I don't actually have to do. My mind thinks super freaking fast. It just goes boop, 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 you know, like somebody's a speed typer. You know, you're like, damn, what was that? 100 words, 120 words a minute? Yeah, fuck. That's about how my brain thinks. Fast as shit. Which a lot of people, when they try to debate me, figure out really quick. If it's person, like over the internet, they don't really get to experience it. But in person,
right,
most people get lost quick. I mean, even on like this, it does. But boy, when you feel my presence personally, I've had people like start crying and like this. I'm not bullshitting. Like I walked in a store before, and this woman starts shaking and stuff. It's because when I'm feeling like intense, not always. That's also a point. It's not like it's 100% like a light bulb is constantly on. It's like, you know, when I'm on, when I'm feeling like a lion, whew, everyone knows it. Anyways, that's why I've said before I'm a goth lion, or I've also said I'm Hellboy. But the reason I say that too, it's not being a joke. I feel like I was made into a demon. I was made into a sociopath. They fucking abused the living fuck out of me. Broke my fucking tailbone with a 2x4. Just brutalized me, starved me, like unclothed, unsheltered. It's like just horror after horror. And yet, I've chosen a better path. Right? Like Hellboy. Freaking, he was made to destroy the world, remember? Or if you don't know, if you know. But so his purpose is to destroy the world. Yet, he helps people. And even just like him, people treat him like shit. Just like me. I'm like, whoa, that flirted. I feel like I've never watched that movie and was crying, going, damn, Eric. So my mom, see, that's what I want you to understand. That is me. But I think that's also why later my mom, not right then, she said she agreed. She sees it in me like that, you know, type of a caring and trying to help and stuff. But I was going back to the thing though. All this kind of stuff, right? is all about the quality of the mind that's giving you the information. Because I'm telling you, just like if I said Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever, people are like, oh, I trust him. Yeah, because you have heard his mind. And so even if you didn't know what he said, and I'm not saying that I agree that everything he says is correct.
I absolutely do not agree with everything he says. But
so my point is, here's another thing too. I don't think every single thing I say. I mean, sometimes most of the time I'm pretty great, but there's sometimes I got issues too, man. Like I said, anyways, I suffer PTSD. I cry almost every day at night long. Like when I share memes and stuff, I read them.
right.
And it affects me, and it's usually when I share them too. I'm also in a mood, but I try to show people too. Even in my weakness, I still try to help because I realize it makes me feel better. And even if it's just 10%, fuck, it's 10%. Imagine if your whole life could be better, 10% better. I in thought times it feels way more than 10%. Especially when now I've had a couple of people like, oh, Damien, someone said that you put these constant positive posts and it made me, it makes us see. I always love when people she owned everyone else, and when people do this, I'm just explaining thinking because I really believe me, I understand thinking because I'm methodological, right? In other words, you see like a thought. And I go, there's 100 thoughts in that.
Right.
But yeah, okay. In a sense. Because that's how my mind sees stuff. I'm like, there's a lot actually going on, but okay. But because also you understand, when you understand axiology, which I know you're starting to get value, when you start value, it's like the Matrix. It's like when you're before the Matrix, right? He sees everything. Then all of a sudden he sees numbers freaking, and all of a sudden everything makes sense. That's what when you really grasp axiology, which is going back to dignity being, that's an axiological thing in a sense because you're grasping worth, value, specialness. But this is really important too. A person that can grasp worth is good at seeking the truth. So you should listen to someone like me because my whole mind and process desire is not to prove or show you anything. It's to know the truth. That's it. And people are like, oh, but you're so sure of yourself. Now I am. I was not before.
Right.
I fucking didn't know. Because I didn't look. And I didn't read it all. But I've almost read it all. No, I've read a lot. Believe me, I say all because compared to you, I've read it all. But if I'm a prehistory, and I mean like the general thing as it relates to religion and movement of people and how I can prove it's religion and culture, and because I would study things like language. In fact, I bought this book just so people know. I think it's $100 and something. It's like 1,000 something pages. It was online. Thinking, can you imagine I hold that thing? It's like 1,700 pages. Like, whoo, good thing it was online. But my point is, so I want you to understand, it's not like I took this lightly. But then again, as an axiologist, how could I honorably do anything else? That's what I meant about trusting me and my facts. How could I do anything but the best? I prove shit so good that archaeologists' minds are blown. They're like, oh, whoa. They're like, I mean, it's like shock and awe. Like I threw a grenade. They're like, like, oh, I mean, it's beyond. This is just you understand. It's not like I figured one thing out. It's like I figured out 200 things they didn't know. It's like, so that's what I'm saying. When they see it, they're like, the hell?
Right.
Is this correct? And I'm like, go ahead and look. I got a lot of time. Just
double check.
Check anything you say. Believe me, if it needs to be changed, I'll change it for the book. Believe me. But no one has, except come back and wow, Damien, Damien. Yeah, that's right. I fucking looked. That's why I tell people when they go, you can't know the truth. Oh, wait a minute. That sounds like a truth claim. But I can't know the truth. How would you know that? What truth are you talking about? Have you yet to ask me a question? But speaking of questions, let's move on to the things.
Sure.
Want to talk about so capitalism continues. So I didn't put capitalism again in this, but just know that's because it's not like it went away. And first off, to understand, when I talk about the arcane capitalism at 7,000, it is not. It is like just starting. It's like groups getting together and kind of they're starting to sell and trade with each other, sort of. But it's more like a bazaar or like a festival kind of thing. Would be almost
okay.
So it's capitalism to me, but it's so like loose that because at first they don't really have money. But they start to trade stuff in equaling amounts like money. Then that it becomes money. And then that culture goes into Turkey, and Turkey makes the first money.
Okay.
And then it goes from there down. But anyways, besides the point. But yes, I looked. Oh, fuck, you know what? I had to. Because that's how I am. My wife is like, she was like, I cannot wait till you're fucking done. You will not shut the fuck up about this crap. But it's just because I've talked about it for 15 fucking years, you know? Because I'll sit and watch TV and go, you know, that reminds me of when the North Asians did this and this and going there. She's like, oh, I can't. Oh, shit. Anyways. But it is, and that's why I feel too that too many people when I go, hey, I have these video series on this stuff, they're taking it too lightly, like this is not a big deal, dude. What I'm telling you is beyond revolutionary. This shit's gonna be in history books,
right?
Or whatever the ideas will. I guarantee it. The shit that I figured out, dude. I guarantee it. Already archaeologists are fucking. In fact, like I told you, that one religious Muslim. Right, and I'm an anti-religionist out everywhere. And he was like the second for the state, archaeological, whatever, assistant, director or something. But he shared one of my, art thing on his personal page. So he was, directly promoting me. Because it's got my website and everything.
Right,
for sure. My art. It's not like he took it and tried to, cut it up and just put my facts without me. So it just shows, look at how good it is. The country of Egypt shared one of my things. And you guys think that you can be challenging me? Like, go read my shit. You can please challenge me after you've read the whole blog. Because I doubt you're going to challenge me.
Yeah.
So the point is, like I said, so the capitalism continues. So to me, what happens is the capitalism, like I said, it's almost like, because I told you last time that to me, just two cultures coming together. It is the farmers, they're called the linear band pottery culture, which is my family, like I said, and then my other side of my family basically met. And of course, didn't actually make me then, but later. But those actually, which is so weird, reading this and going, this is so bizarre. Because I know this thing and I'm like, wow. No, and then they met and I'm like, wow. Because a long time I couldn't understand. Because this is what I want to tell a fact. When you think of longhouses, you think of Vikings, probably. They didn't invent them. The people at least the Balkans did.
Okay.
I think it might happen in Western Turkey, but I did. Here's the thing. Once I kind of understood what's going on, I don't keep fucking studying. Because I told you, I'm done. Because I first thought, those are really cool. I might do that. Nope. Because here's what I was saying. And you can look it up. It's a real term. It's called rational ignorance. I realize as a wise person, I only have so much. And I want to figure this out fast. I don't have time to read shitloads about the whole crap. Once I kind of get the gist of, okay, they make longhouses. Okay, they make them random. Wait a minute. They start pointing them to the sun. But it happens in the West. What the fuck? It should happen in the East, where the Yama are. Why does it? I don't understand. That, well, maybe they came down from Sweden. which is also possible. And they hit them that way. The cultures, I'm thinking, because I know they got together, because I know that's what happened.
Right.
Because just I understood DNA and stuff. I know when, where, how, and then I know that after that, all of a sudden, there's like that. I mean, it moved around a little bit, but that kind of thing. Like you look at one of the maps, they don't even know what it is. They show this red circle, and they're like, very interesting. Kind of the culture. I mean, it's like all over the place, but it almost kind of always is in that. No matter what else it's doing, and I'm like, yeah, don't tell me I'm not right. Don't tell me that's not a culture. Like I said, I was trying to say to you, what that shows, it's not, once again, like I said before, it could be like Egypt or Aztec, but only did that to mental reference. It doesn't mean they're building pyramids. It doesn't even mean that they have like a standing army exactly. They probably did have something like that, but it probably was more anarchist, kind of a, conglomeration. It was, or federation or something. It wasn't, because here's the thing, which is crazy. Capitalism has nothing to do with kings. Kings happen, I think, after capitalism, but the area where capitalism starts, to me, doesn't get kings until, like, I don't know, way later, like thousands of years later. Like, I think after the Romans or something. Like, way fucking later.
Okay.
So, I mean, so that's another thing which makes it confusing, that this thing, even though you can totally see it, and even the archaeologists, they don't know what it is. They're like, well, why does it seem to always be right there? But I know, like, yeah, well, what does that tell you? That there's a consistent culture. Something is consistent right there. No matter what the fuck else is going on, this is always happening.
Right.
And at first, I didn't understand it either, because I didn't know it's capitalism. Why do they keep doing this? But then again, just think of powwow, right? You go meet at a certain area. Just like we learn later, right? Archaeologists will understand this. They'll think, oh, this is crazy. And then I say something, and they go, oh, yeah, well, people traveled from the mainland over to, right, England, and went to, we know this, they would pilgrimage even from England to Stonehenge to drink alcohol and eat candy or whatever, whatever, and deer, I think. I can't remember, even pig or boar. But I think
Okay.
I can't remember exactly, and that doesn't matter. Once again, like I said about rational ignorance, see, there's some things I don't need to know. That's why when I'm the kind of thinker that can think fast, because I'm like, only what I need to know. Only what I need to know.
Skip that part. Yeah.
Distracted by all the other bullshit, and I'm like, digging. Okay, this is important. That's not. This is that. This is that. So when I don't think like that. I don't go look at everything. I don't look like that. I look like. So because of that, it allows me to see sometimes connections you're distracted by. I see patterns, like they're seeing it, right? But it took a computer for them to see it. I was figuring it out and didn't even have a computer. And then they backed me up. That's what's always funny too. I'll figure something out, and then I'll go and find more shit. Oh fuck, they already figured it out too. But they don't know what it is. They're like, this something is almost consistent, right? Where I say, capitalism started, and it just stays there, and I don't know why. Yeah, why? Why do people constantly go to the same place? Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I think that they also have a limited idea of like kings and chiefs and whatever, because I think, first off, we think like a colonialism thinks taught us to think. So I was trying to talk to the guy about capitalism. I'm like, hey, there's a lot of kinds of capitalism. I feel like everybody gets on both sides. Maybe it seems maybe I'm wrong. I'm not trying to judge him, by the way, but it seems like people don't understand both socialism or capitalism. And like I said, I haven't read anything, or I've read very little. So what I know is not because I read something. So I'm not saying that I'm claiming that I understand how socialism thinks, but stuff that seems like reasonable and that I hear them claiming, then I expect that then your behavior should follow that. And if it doesn't, then I am questioning what is really going on.
Right.
In other words, if you told me that you thought sometimes a child does have to starve, I would stop with a friend. I mean, that.
Yeah.
I would go. It sounds like I think I need to leave because
Yeah.
this is not the kind of person that I need in my life. And I told you, pretty soon I'm going to be off activism. So I'll be talking to you in my personal life. So it'll be just because I want to, not because I'm doing any more activism. So when people like, because they'll go, oh, you need to do this kind of video or this topic. No, my activism will be over. Damien will only do whatever Damien wants to do. And Damien does want to talk to Cory and do more videos. But I'm just saying, I'm not debating people. I'm not talking to people I don't want to talk to. I'm not doing shit after I go. I'm just going to talk to people I want to. And you respect me, and I also respect you. I respect who you are as a person. If I didn't, like I said, especially if you did something like that, like not care about kids.
Yeah.
Other people like, why did you block me when I said it's okay to spank kids? And sometimes you had to hurt them. And I said, see, you just explained why we can't be friends.
Yeah, because of the thing you just said.
Done. I need to not have you in my life. When you say some shit like that to me, then I realize, wow, I need to not have you in my life. That doesn't mean I wouldn't talk to someone on Twitter because I try to respect everybody, even dickheads. But in my life, on my personal time, or talking with me, no. That's a privilege that I only give people that respect me. Period.
Yeah.
Because especially, like I said, when I've done activism, then I want to kick back and talk to people I like. I like you. So, yeah. But anyways, so it starts in the capitalism, right? So it moves. It moves to the Balkans because the Balkans is a different culture, though, than it was anyways. These people were always more violent. That's where all the like the genocides kind of stuff they were killing. Like, like the population of natives, just real quick that I know. And then once again, it's what I remember. So I'm not saying that I could be like a little tiny bit off. But if I remember right, my original family, on my mom's side, the linear black culture killed 50% of the native population.
Oh, wow.
Or the 50% of the native population didn't continue to reproduce, as an archaeologist might say. We don't know why.
Very political type of speak about it. Like very...
Well, and this is what the problem I told one archaeologist. They go, well, I don't want to know. And I go, see, I know, no offense, but it just sounds like you're talking too much like a skeptic. You can't talk science and skepticism at the same time. You got to pick one. Skepticism is your defense. It's not a bad thing, but it's not how you tell the truth.
Yeah.
It's not a method for telling truth. I mean, it's a method for challenging untruth or even truth, but it's not a method for, you know what I'm saying? So once again, it reminds me of like the people, if you have a screwdriver and a hammer, do you use them for both the same thing? Does that make the hammer bad or the screwdriver bad? That's all I was saying when I say
no.
And just like if I said that my way is super effective, does that mean that the screwdriver doesn't work?
Of course, it still works for what it's supposed to work for.
I'm saying? So like, you're not really. Damien's super complicated. So I know, and believe me too. I really try to. My wife says you need to explain more because everything you think is like so rich in explanation. Because that's how I think. I think so deep. I don't think shallow, But it's not because, once again, it's not because I'm arrogant or I'm trying to. Dude, I'm irritating. I'm like the Adam ruins everything, dude. Not because I'm trying to. He's seeing like more like he's really trying to. Probably it's just to show also,
Right, yeah.
But
that's
me,
kind of the gag, right?
I can't look at things or experience talking to you and not start thinking things. It's just, that's what I'm saying. It's just me. But so, and what I try to do is use that for good. Even like I try to use my sociopath nature where I don't care. I try to use that for good. Because what I try to do is allow people to do whatever to me and not do anything. Yeah, whatever.
I think every leftist or skeptic feels that to some degree because when somebody's talking, then they go, oh, do you know why that part of like why this sucks? It's because of capitalism and here's what's wrong with it. Or do you know why that's not true? Because it's not based in evidence or it's,
Right. It's like my statement. Like, so my point I'm trying to say is, so capitalism goes to Iraq, to the Sumerians. Okay. But the path that it goes from over there in Germany, and then it hits the Balkans, like say, where did it go? Can't remember right now. Let's say Bulgaria or something. I'm not. Is that right? Hungary. Well, it probably went Hungary because I know there was some culture there. But anyways, it's somewhere in the Balkans. I don't know exactly because I have sometimes I remember things. This is really sucks. Sometimes I remember things. It's probably my PTSD too that I've been experiencing a lot this week. Like it sometimes it's like I sort of see it, but it's I can't. But there are times like when I'm feeling different, it can be easier for me. But anyways, because I really don't want to help you understand this. So they go anywhere, somewhere into Balkans, but I'm sure the Varna culture, which is closer to the Black Sea, okay. The Varna culture is where is the first, in a sense, person's burial, which I consider like a pseudo king or a pre-king or something. Becoming it. They just say he's a totally respected clan leader. I'm like, right, the one that has more gold in that grave than everyone on earth at the time. And no one else in the tribe but him. He had like, I think it was, I want to say 78% of the gold. I think that's what it was. I can't remember exactly. But like I said, I know I'm close on stuff. It's not like it's 10. I know it's really high. My point is, so this one grave had more gold, right? 78% compared to I think they had, I can't remember. I think it's 300, but graves or something.
Okay.
They call it the Varna necropolis, but so people can look it up. And once again, maybe I'm wrong. It's not 300. Maybe I don't know, but it's a lot. It's more than like 5.
Right.
It's a lot of people. And anyways, I think also that there's more, and also another thing too is they're very different times. I'm not claiming that it's all one, one thing. My point is just, yeah, but even then, he still has 78% of the gold.
Right.
Right? Here's another weird thing. He's buried, or there's actually not he, sorry. The other giant portions, like I can't remember, but let's say 50% or something of the rest of the gold, which means most of it, right, is actually fake clay heads that look kind of like him with like pierced earrings and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's actually a god. That is basically later. This is what Thor, this is also Zeus. This is and also to me in Native Americans, Thunderbird. It's just it's the same concept. The difference is everybody in Europe were really big on figurines. Okay. Personification of gods to people that are also already doing that. Fucking easy. Going over to Native Americans where they were a bunch of shamans, and they did, even though that they because see the problem is the Native Americans got the last end of the people. So what happens is totemism is here, and then shamanism comes up, or animist people come up, the gravitans, they're animist, boom, they hit the totemists who had come from over to Russia, I think from France or Germany. Because they're like migrant, they're following herds and maybe mammoths or something. I can't remember now what they're hunting or what they're doing. But anyways, they are kind of moving around. So, and people are saying, because like the first one up, actually, I think it was like 48,000, and then there's another one at 47, at 46, at 45. I think there's one at 44, and there's like I was telling you, which is also another reason why I think totemism, when you have this too much separation and then meeting again, and you're already kind of used to your own people, I can totally see where it almost makes totemism, that clan mentality. Well, this is us. Oh, we're at school, but this is us. Oh, yeah, that's you too.
Right.
Because they're going different times, and so they're not really the same. Of course, they are the same DNA. It's just that they're,
they've changed. Yeah.
Yeah, but 5-10 years, in another group, and so much. I don't know you. I mean, imagine if you're already up here, and all of a sudden, like you have your home, right? You're all fine, everything's good, and then 2 years later, new people come. Hey, man, we want to live here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're like, cool, go somewhere else. You know, they're like, yeah, but actually I want to live here, like your house. Anyways, but so I'm just saying I can see where there would be conflict. Or how about share
Yes.
your house? You're like, well, I don't want to.
Well, I can help
Yeah,
you build a
you know,
new house.
but still, my point would be that you'd want me to be separate, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's possible. So I'm saying right there, totemism just seems like fucking natural because of that event. And also because I think they also met the Neanderthals, not just that they had sex with them, but when you realize there is somebody else, other. But see, the animus to me before is everybody's the same. Children's the same, women's, men, doesn't, elderly a little bit more, but still everybody's, there's no hierarchy. Everyone's equal. So that's what we started with. That's why I try to tell people when they go, anarchism never worked. Yeah, it only gone for 15,000 years. You're right. That's not really.
Yeah. It's a very frustrating thing when people say that anarchism could never work.
Yeah, 15,000 years is, I don't know. Tell me which culture can beat that. None. Not one culture on earth can beat that.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, it's so I mean, to say it doesn't work is just absolute fucking bullshit. But and then there's another thing too, that everything after totemism is still socialism. That's not, in a sense. It's like, you know, arcane. That's why I call it too.
Right.
Simple because it's not modern. That's my point. Is
right. Yeah, we think of
so when I say
socialism
this, I'm not saying it has to fit Marx or some certain any kind of theorist. It's just behavior. They are taking care of everybody. They're doing everything, and everyone has the means of production, or everyone's. What you said before, I like that what you said. I know I've heard that before. To whatever you can, your ability or something. What is it?
Oh, yeah, that's that Marx quote.
You need to say it because I can't quote it.
From each according to ability, to each according to need.
Yeah, see, that's I told you why I need you on this show. Nothing else that I don't fucking know enough to say shit about it. But this is also to me a good though, really, because it shows you have a value. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, I do need you. That you have stuff I do not have. And it's not like I'm kind of good. I fucking suck. And that, you know what I mean, is in the fact of knowing the information. Because and I told you, dude, I'm so tired. Just look at all you see all the stuff I know. I don't want to keep going. But I want to go back to real quick. I don't want to get distracted. It's easy for me to do. Let's go back to the thing. So once they got in the Balkans and they made the Varna culture, so people can go look it up, is the oldest gold, and then the other gold, 50% or whatever, was clay heads of this, I think, a deity. They're like, oh, it could be ancestors. Yeah, it could be. And it could also be an ancestor who's now a deity.
Right, yeah.
So both could be true. I'm not saying that they're not ancestors. Because I think that this is the thing people understand. Odin, there's myths, he was a shaman, meaning he was a human fucking being. Or maybe like Jesus. He came down, the personification of what's the other one? I'm trying to think, because Odin's one of the thing. But anyways, maybe it's the giants or something. But I don't know, whatever. But the point I'm saying is that it was a person. So the concept, I'm just showing it, you know, even later, it stays that mentality that's a normal thing. That's why also I think the people in the north hearing about Jesus is not crazy, because they thought, well, yeah, Odin was a person.
Right.
And he was a god. In fact, you want to talk about bizarre, or at least something that I know, or I read, I should say. I don't know how accurate, because once again, just because I talk on some things I have more confidence as an axiologist. I judge the weight of its soundness. That's what I'm always looking for. How, because what soundness relates to, just a quick, is about justification. So when something is like, if I say it's true, well, that's just a claim. But when it has a soundness, I go, it's true because. So I'm going to show you. So it starts, the capitalism starts, and then I think it jumps to the Varna culture, because these people were very sedentary. which they, I don't like the word, but they call it old Europe. I hate take that fucking word out. Just throw that shit in the garbage to be
Right. Yeah.
I hate that fucking term. Those cultures were fucking moving around. The fucking old Europe. Take that. To me, that concept is personally. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just inaccurate to me because it gives an inaccurate picture of what's going on. That shit was dynamic as fuck, and you're like acting like it's not. Because I think the Kukatani might have actually gave Proto-Indo-European to the Yama, who then spread it. That is also a possibility. Not this other thing they think before where these Yama come in. Me man, I'm take up. That's not accurate. Because actually, 100 years they interact, and even worse than that, Kukatani does at least 2 that I know of, pushes massively into Yama territory, like I don't know, 200 miles or something, or 100 miles. I once again, maybe 50 miles. I shouldn't say miles. A lot. It wasn't. I guess I don't know, but on the map, because that's all I know. I know I could tell a
significantly.
Map. I could show you a map from here to here. I mean,
right.
I did not actually. This is what I was saying about details. It's not like I actually, remember how the scale of what that map is. Because sometimes because once again, I'm doing fast. So I don't need, okay, oh, it's on there. Okay, oh, did that, okay. So I'm not always, because I could, to me personally, how I think is you research every fucking thing. That's why people are like, man, how do you know so much? I go, well.
When I find something else.
How I research things is extensive. Because to me, the only way you know something is because you have looked.
Yeah.
Okay. So why I know is because I looked. But anyway, so this culture, I think, let me say first what's fact. It is a fact that they may have the first writing, but I don't think it's really theirs. I think it was brought from North China because North China has writing in language 9,000 years ago. And then I know they came down and became the Yama. So the fact that all of a sudden, when the Yam or the Yam is later, forget that name. I also don't like that because everybody knows shit happened at 7,000. Yam was like 5,000. Like those fucking people didn't start this shit. 7,000 ago did. Yama just did this new thing called continuing the bullshit. and they are better at it, I would say. They got extensively better at murder, rape, and pillage. And so
not exactly skills one should be getting better at, but yes.
But they also, I'm not going to try to besmirch their name because I'm not saying that's all they did. Because like I said, they actually at first, and I don't know how extensive also, just so you know, some of the people where they call old Europe could have left for other reasons. Because I do know people did go to Turkey and then to Israel by 6,800 or 6,900. And I think, and here's the thing, they go, oh, they came from Turkey. The DNA comes from Turkey and comes from Iran. But I think it might have been a little bit of European too. And I'm not saying a lot, but at least has to be influenced. But they could have, this is how influence happens sometimes. Like, let's just say the capitalism influences just the next culture, which is the Balkans. Okay, not in Turkey or anywhere else yet. It's in the Balkans. So it influences that culture. But this is why people don't grasp. Like, I hate when they go, oh, there's one culture to everything. That is fucking bullshit. Whoever said that is full of crap. Done. I mean, there's no way to talk. Done. Anyways, so what I think happened is they influenced the Balkans. The Balkans people started having problems. I think some war, right? I think this is happening. That's also why I think the male god really gets brought into. Because I think this is the thing. The male god, I think, was a bird. Because 7,000 years ago, a big-ass bird statue shows up in the Balkans.
Okay.
I know that big bird in, it's called, I always forget its name, Lula. I always think, my wife goes, I hate when you say that. And I'm not trying to say it to put down, anybody, but my mind thinks, just so you know, it thinks the big kahuna, but I know that's not correct.
Right.
But my wife goes, oh, I hate when you say that. I go, yeah, I'm not trying to say it's right. I'm just saying my brain, just every time I hear that, because I look at that word and I go, I have no idea how to pronounce that. But anyways, that deity that I think relates to in America is what they call the Thunderbird, like lightning, thunder, lightning. And they have rain sticks for the Thunderbird, right? And rain sticks are snakes, which you also see in Finland and stuff 4,000 years ago. And there's a pictograph art of them, I think shamans, with a rattle. See, because rattle is a rain stick. You know, oh, it's the same dumb shit. No, but I'm not trying to put down native peoples. I'm just saying the concept that they're not connected to me is dumb shit. Yes, they're not the same. I never said they are. They're related in the fact that they're influenced. The thing comes here and it influences this, and then these don't keep going. Is that a few of them do, most stay. And then they influence some more people, and they're like, hey, just like, and so they tell people capitalism, you can make money by other people doing work.
Right.
What the fuck? Why don't we do this? Other people work and you make money. I mean, you could see where capitalism sounds fucking glorious if you're the one on top. But why I always find it disgusting. That's why one person tried to say it was ethical to me. You have got to be kidding me. It's fucking not. I'm done.
I've seen some stuff lately where they talk about like the current idea that inherited wealth is justifiable is similar to the divine right of kings and
and that's what I'm saying. And it's, they know this. 7,000 years ago in Germany, like I was saying, because of course I'm correct, because I didn't guess. I actually looked at the facts. But here's another thing too. If you don't want to call it capitalism, if that really bothers you, fucking whatever. Just understand this is where all the elements came from. Whatever. So
right, it's still exploitation. It's still labor.
That's where it comes from, and then it goes to the Balkans. Then it goes to Iraq, right? And the influence I'm talking about. And it is another thing too. It could have happened through trade. Could they just brought some trade shit, told them some ideas? Hey, you can have slavery. You just capture people and you make them work. Like,
right.
What the fuck?
And then you make money.
What a fucking great idea. We need to have a whole fucking army of slaves. It's like people are like, oh, Greece is great democracy. Let me hit you on a little clue. They were slave traders. Do you know why they could be philosophers? They didn't have to fucking work. Now, some of them, will be in the streets and some will teach at colleges, but see, all that stuff was supported by slaves.
Right. Yeah.
So
peasant labor and slave labor, and
yes, they absolutely had slaves. In fact, in this blog, I have a thing that says, it's not my quote, and it's facts. That one guy says, so that's a good statement. He said that Athens, Greece could not have existed. The whole Greek empire would never have existed without slavery. And I go, see, don't tell me that shit is not capitalism. What the fuck? Talk about exploitation. Holy fucking shit. So you can look at exploitation and go, yeah, that's not capitalism. Well, what the fuck is it then? And you go, well, it's this. Well, there's also money because they're also trading. And, well, there has to be trading. They are trading on like bazaars. I agree. It's kind of like, it's almost like an anarchical, bullshit going on. And but it stays that way. They don't want it. It's because they stay clannish. It's not really anarchical. It's clannish. It's really what it is.
Right.
They want to stay separate. So they don't want, and everybody in this kind of warrior, because this is the mentality, it's sick, but it comes from the north, the warriors. The warriors come from the north. The murder and slave traders come from the farmers. So the murder and slave traders, these are genocidal. Let me correct. So these people are warriors and they do kill a lot of people. These people are genocidal maniacs that are slave traders. Not sounding real great. So once again, I'm not trying to put down the Asians or put down the people from Turkey that went to Germany. They both were fucking awful. So that's all. I'm just saying that this event did this. So, and then because of the ideas came, so these people have one kind of, so this is warrior cult mentality. Everything you know now of warrior cult is from these fuckers. Okay. This thing like, but they always know this when they go, our clan are warriors. I go, Yeah, I know who you're related to. You're related to the Devil's Gate people. I guarantee it. If you're a clan, or well, let me guess. It's possible that a clan says it because they're mimicking another behavior. So I don't want to say it's impossible. So I need to correct myself. I do know that it is possible. But my point is, I would still say, see how it got influenced and did not happen by itself. That's what I'm saying. It's not self-generated. This concept of I am warrior, this stuff is 7,000 years old, man. And it came from the north. And so I'm just saying, so that's all they did. They were kind of that. They're just warrior. And they had elites kind of, but it's like the Vikings sort of, like, you know, a whole bunch of like, let's all raid, you know. There's kind of mild hierarchy, but I mean, it is hierarchy, but it's not as oppressive as later, you know, like what they call civilized cultures. They love them some hierarchy like a son of a bitch.
Right.
Slaves had slaves, you know. I mean, it's like bizarre. And seriously, they did shit like that. It's like weird because the one would do one, and everyone's kind of like helping this one, you know, or whatever. It's weird. But I mean, because their whole concept is everyone could be a slave. Slaves, you know. So that's what I was saying. But so these people, that's why I'm saying you can't blame these people for the sense slavery. That's not really killing the warriors. Fuck yes. Slavery, not so much. Maybe raping your males, maybe more than even the females, because it's warrior shit to them. What better way to degrade you? I'm not trying to put down and say they're all being. So people understand. I think personally that it is possible to do a behavior and still not be who you are. That doesn't mean I think it's okay to rape anybody either.
Right.
Just so people know that shit too. That shit's fucking bullcrap. So, and I'm not saying that I personally know for a fact that they did this. I'm just saying I understand this concept, and I do know later this goes back to what people. It's not really, to me, anthropology. It's a little more ethnography, where you're caring about culture specifically more now, and then when you understand that, it gives you more, in a sense, instead of a Western concept. I'm seeing how they think. Okay, I'm trying, and I know that this, even in Americas, they were raping, like they said, because I've heard before, people, I think I said this to you before, where they said, oh, well, people in the Americas, you know, Native didn't rape until white people came. Kind of true. They raped men. Some. Okay. As acts of war. Not as. Okay. A common thing. In other words, what I'm saying is, when they weren't, in other words, what I'm trying to make a comment, and sometimes I need to say it better. When they are not at war, they do not rape people. Rape was almost unheard of in the Americas until white people showed up, or colonizers, or whatever you want to call it. So that is accurate. Very non-war rape, almost unheard of. Right.
Yeah, it wasn't like men dominating women the way we see it in our modern age, right?
No, well, at least not that I know of. I've looked. So once again, we do know that I don't always look on every little thing is fine, because I can take shit all the bad. I can start getting up records and old, you know, pictures and
right. No, I don't think like, but even if a person could find an instance.
And also, just so you understand, I'm just trying to help, because I know you guys don't know. And I'm trying to help you understand. Stop thinking how you think you understand religion. It doesn't matter. Listen to what I'm saying. These people think different. Once you start grasping how they think and what they're doing, then you can see their behavior clearer. Then you know, oh, that's them. Oh, this is the slavers. So these guys didn't do slavery. Farmers did. Reason we have Slavery Day is fucking farmers in Germany. Fact. Because it was not, or not today, but I hope there's no fucking slavery. There probably fucking is, and I can hate it. But anyways, what I'm saying is, my point was, what I'm saying is that once you understand, like I'm saying, you can. Sometimes I hear people go, all religion is bad. Although I agree with that, you need to be more accurate at what exactly is wrong with it, to me. That's right. And that's what I'm trying to do. I want you to grasp not just who did what and where they came from, but who they really kind of are, because then you can understand. Then you can, if you're going to blame them, let's blame them accurately is all I'm saying. I blame them for the warrior cult bullshit that we now suffer. It's, you know, and even when it's not warrior, we know what it is. Macho. That's what it is. That all that bullshit. That's 7,000 years old bullshit. That macho crap, 7,000 years. That toxic masculinity, 7,000 years ago, those motherfuckers brought it. Now, these other assholes did slavery. So you see what I'm saying? So, and did genocide. These people weren't doing really genocide. So the natives weren't doing genocide. Although they were warriors, it's more like pride, and you know, they also killed each other. I mean, it was all about pride. It's like think almost like I guess like Japanese and like samurais or something like that. It's kind of like that, because that is
kind of like an honor culture type
thing.
thing.
Totally. And that is what this culture was. That's what I'm saying. But not, that's more like developed. It wasn't that, I think it was a little more rugged. And I don't like the word when people say barbarian. So please don't ever use that word. Another thing too, don't call people bush people. That's not a name, fuckers. Okay? It just isn't.
Okay.
It's like calling people the N-word in a sense, because is that what they are? Is that what they call themselves? Oh, it's not? Oh, then they're the sand people? Oh, then that's what you should call them. Oh, it's the Hazak people? Do not call them Bushmen.
Right. Yeah.
Just saying. Anyways,
it's colonizer language is what it is.
So I'm just reminding people we need to, because the whole point is, I don't want to be a hate monger. I'm not a bigot. I'm trying to educate people. You know, even though like I said, I hate capitalism. I don't hate capitalists. Like the guy said, I'm a capitalist. Like he thought I would care. Okay, and there's a fucking shitload of you people. I'm trying to educate you. Step out of the way. Please get in the back, because
I have a reading list for you.
Yeah. Oh, please. Yeah. Hey, everyone listening, please go watch all the stuff or read all the blogs that are attached. Dude, I spend days, weeks, and this stuff took me years to come up with.
Yeah.
But anyway, so once they go to the Balkans, then it moves, right? Like I said, I don't know exactly how, because I have to think about more, but I don't want to. But it is related to the Sumerians. So someone said before that the Balkans, and they've said this, and the people in Samaria, their writing looks kind of similar. I don't know that it's exactly related. It might, because once again, people are thinking too homogenous, or whatever you call it. I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Homogenous?
Yes, homogenous. Yeah, homogenous. They're thinking too like everything is the same.
Right.
Fuck no. That's what I'm saying. No, it was not. Even like if you ever the people think like Vikings, like they all had horns or something. They didn't. Most of them had just brown hats, but they all, once again, didn't have the same hat, because once again, people understand everything was handmade. Everything you had to pay for or make your damn self.
Right.
And so
the more ornate it is, the more work it is.
Well, true, but also the more varied it is.
Right.
Because it's not like, in other words, what I'm saying is, when we go by now, you pick a shoe, like, or a thing, or a hat, or a shirt, or size, whatever. They didn't have shit like that before.
Yeah.
Fucking had nothing. Come here and I'll just put shit and try to, do it on you in a sense of tailor almost.
Right.
Or yourself, or yourself, you had to try. But my point is, so that once again, I know it's hard when you think about the past, because we're so diluted in our world, and it's so hard to see like how they would have lived. But so anyways, it goes to by 6,000 I can't remember, but it's about 6,000 I think Varna is. So this is 7,000. By 6,000 the people are affected, and I also know this, they moved because their houses. Their houses at first were random. The long houses, like I said, that relate to the Viking. That is correct, but they didn't invent it. They
didn't come up with it.
7,000 years ago, they were doing long houses, and they also went all the way to China and all the way to Japan. That's why Japan has long houses. Oh, there's some in the Americas. That's why the Americas has long houses. Yeah, I know. Anyways, so but the ones the capitalism in Germany, right? So that this culture did relate to almost the Black Sea, like but this is what's important too to understand. Right after they touched, it became the Cold War culture. So, and we know the Cold War culture has, I think, 30% of their DNA, but that tells you something too. That's a low number. That means those people were pretty tough. That's also why I think that it actually, they mixed more than dominated in that area.
Okay.
There's not a lot of signs of war. Plus, I told you, these people were like the Vikings. You know, they were absolute fucking warriors. Both of them, in a sense. It wasn't like, because these ones are like nomadic warriors, which is about honor culture, like you were saying. These are no honor. Well, not put it that way. That sounds terrible. That's not, they care.
That's not their focus.
You're right. Let's try to say it better. The focus they had, or seemed to have, let's say from the evidence, is that males were the only, or the male were the, I shouldn't say only, males were the higher importance, for sure.
Okay.
And that males seemed to pass land down through the male line. Let's put it that way. And so, there seemed to be a continuity of the males, but not a continuity of the females. Even in Germany, at a different time, females started coming from other places. I wonder, they're like, "Ooh, women traveled." I'm like,
women traveled, or
right. or this I hate too. Like I told you, oh, well, maybe the new men were more attractive. I'm like, yeah. That's always what happens when foreigners invade. The women go, "Oh my God, I can't wait to fuck them." That's always what happens.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's logical. Not as hell no. That's what I'm saying. Just say shit out that they are thinking, right? I'm talking about when you look at, because this is the problem. See, we all can look at facts, but when I look at facts, I'm analyzing it in a way that's different, and that's also why I can figure things out, and other people can get lost sometimes. Because I'm seeing some of the details that it's hard to see. And I'm not saying it's easy. It is hard. But my mind is able to start. Because like I'm trying to show you, don't think so fast. Or worry about that. Even if I think slow. It's not the fast that makes me good. That's nothing to do with it. I mean, it helps in debates. But, I mean, or whatever. But that is actually not what's good about me. What's good is the methodological. It's the mental precision, like a freaking scalpel. 1, 2, 3, and everyone else is hitting with a hammer, you know. And I'm like, and that's why. So I'm just trying to help you understand what I hope you develop in you, not just you, Cory, but everybody. Develop that ability to not just look at things and generalize. It's what we love doing all the fucking time, and we're generally wrong. And anyways, like I said, because and I'm not saying everything needs accuracy. I already said before, there's rational ignorance. You don't need to know everything about everything about everything about everything. There is a point where you know enough to get the idea. And then they people, I don't understand, really? So you're saying when you build a big puzzle, you don't know what the fuck is going on till the end. Till you're fucking done, right? Totally done, then you know.
Right. Even you don't even know, even if you're putting the last piece in until you put it in.
Then you know.
Yeah.
Right? So people, right? Just trying to get, see, because I know a lot of people when I say things, they first do that wrongly. They don't listen, they judge. In fact, Carl Jung said that what do you say? People don't think, they judge. Yeah. Stupid. No fucking thinking at all. Judging is not thinking. It's basically like a sarcastic piece of shit in your head that's talking crap. That's what it's like. Because what you need to do is let that fucker die, because that's your ego. It's a little baby. Hey, I need to be heard, please. Oh, fuck. You know what? Shut the fuck up. I need to listen. Because how in the fuck am I going to understand if I'm busy talking? And everything too is like I was saying, I just talked. Your first thought should not be talk again. Your first thought should be understanding. Then, because let's say you're going to talk again. I'm not saying you can't, but your first thought is analyze, know what you're doing, then talk. What do people do? No analyzing, fucking talking. Then they're trying to analyze while they're talking. And dude, I can do that. You guys cannot. Like I said about music, I can listen to two things almost the same time. So, but that's a freakish ability, and that most people don't have. So, you should not do that. You should train your mind. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. The thing, train your mind that the first response is a question. Cory, what are you doing? Don't answer. Give me a question. What are you doing, Cory? Give me a question.
In relation to what?
See, that was great. Yes. Now you're getting me. Now you're getting how a rationalist thinks. Dude, you cannot get over on me. I will fucking dominate you. I'm not trying to, but my point is, I'm saying is, but anyways, and it's not about ego too. I'm saying the ability to do this is amazing. Why the fuck would you not want to learn? Are you fucking stupid? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just like, if I saw what I could do, dude, I would watch every single hour of every single video that I produced. I would personally, but that's my personality. If I thought that I was that great and I needed to learn that, I would fucking go learn that. That's like they go, well, that's Indo-European language, and I go, I'm gonna go learn it. They go, well, you have to get a book. I went and bought the 1,700 page.
Right.
I'm like, I all I hear is it's hard. I didn't hear it's impossible. Well, you have to read blah blah and blah blah blah. Damien, you're gonna have to read all the stuff from the beginning. And I go, I did. Well, I mean, like a million years ago. Well, actually, I went to 6 million, but I usually just say a million. But I've actually looked. Once again, I know it'll shock you. I want accuracy. So, anyways, the culture is 6,000 something in the Balkans. Then Iraq culture, the first kings and kind of city states is about 5,500. But that they are kind of a loose conglomerate, not too undifferent, or not too unsimilar, I guess I would say.
Okay.
From Germany, in the fact that but it's a little bit different in the fact they're starting to get more organized, right? They're making like little empires, but they're like a city, but they'll build walls around it in a sense. In the middle of the city is a temple to religion, because they go, Damien, religion and culture is separate. Now, maybe because you try to be, it fucking never was before, but okay.
And even still now, like, no.
Yeah, no. So Jews are not a religion.
There's 100. Yeah.
Really? How about Native Americans? No culture? Religion not that connected? No. Oh, so go with them. Oh yeah. Oh, more though. Actually, all. But anyways,
yeah.
Maybe not all now, but definitely I think mainly all then. Because who knows? Maybe some wasn't, but I think all probably were relatively similar. So, anyways, this mentality that I deserve to not work and have others work for me. That is, to me, ego glorifying its sickening self. It's absolutely disgusting. And the fact that, like I said, the fact that you want it, because this is how I feel. Because and I've heard this bullshit, right? When you work as a team, we're a family, and now I'm going to exploit you. Well, they don't say that part. Because that's why I said it's disgusting. If I had a job, right, and I'm going to do jewelry, and I hired Cory, right, I'm going to teach you how to do it. So I hire Cory, and see, this is what I say about it. Like, I'm going to give Cory his earned labor. Fucking crazy, right? What is it? That's what I'm like. That's what I don't get. How is that crazy? That sounds ethical.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is what they go, well, I wouldn't make money. Why would I make money? if Cory's doing stuff, that means I can do that business faster. Correct? That means more product is produced faster.
Yeah.
What happens when more product is produced faster? You make more money faster. Even if I give Cory all his labor.
Yeah.
Ooh. So what you mean is you can't become a billionaire.
Right. Right.
Now that I will agree. If you say because I've had someone before attack my system of what I go, okay, you want it, because I go, I don't care about words. I hate that shit. I'm values. Okay, fine. Get capitalism. Okay, fine. But it has to be like this, right? Because it's only ethical. It has to be like this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if not, I want to hear a valid justification of why not.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just money funneling from labor up to somebody above.
It's fucking it's injustice.
Yeah.
As I said, Marx may have been confused, or maybe some the quote's confused. I don't even care because I'm not trying to attack Marx, but that statement to me is wrong. To me, I already explained. If Cory works for me and he does work, he deserves doing for what he did. I mean, so like I said, they go, oh, well, it'd be hard to figure out. Really? How would it be hard? I want to figure out every time I use my torch in my jewelry business, the flame, I want to count. I want to know how much it costs every minute or every 30 seconds. And I'm going to keep track because I'm methodological. Go ahead.
The funny thing is that major companies like Walmart or Amazon, they have all that shit figured out. They figured out every single cost that exists and down to the minute.
And yet they still rob.
Yep.
Their fucking employees. Like I said,
in fact, it
is.
Them
I don't care what you call it. That's why this one person said to me. This one guy I was arguing with online. He said, "Oh, you're going to defend capitalism, or no, defend socialism and this and that." And I said, let me explain something to you. Before anything, you want to know what I am? I am anti-capitalist to my motherfucking core.
Right.
Don't care what other thing you think is going to solution it. I care it's not, like I said, I want to hear that Cory doesn't get fucking robbed. That's what I want. How is that radical? It's serious. I'm saying. I feel like it's a moral, cognitive dissonance or some bullshit. How is that? I mean,
well, that's exactly it, right?
I want you to end slave labor. So end wage slavery, period. You want to keep capitalism? I don't care what you want to call bullshit. End wage fucking slavery. It is unethical. There's no way, and everyone has tried. They go, oh, it's ethical. And then, of course, they never come back. It's not. And the fact that you don't want to change when you realize it's not, isn't that fucking sick, Cory? They think they're right? To me, they think, oh, Damien's wrong. Because they don't understand how hard it is for me when they tell me bullshit like this. I'm sure you heard this, but it offends me. Like I said, because to me, I mean, you probably it's more like maybe it's a socialism. To me, it's always I see kids hurting and fucking starving people, fucking in the streets, and you're telling me that's okay, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's not. It's fucking not. And they're like, we have no reason to care about them. We can just step right over them and still think we have full humanity. And I go, but you don't. You just fucking don't.
Yeah, I was actually just having a conversation with my son the other day about the term like collateral damage. Yeah. And how like in wars, like often there's civilians, casualties who, innocent people who have been killed and it becomes like a statistic. It's like a term that just gets thrown around. But those are people who died because of some bullshit war and some leader just deciding that a place needed to be bombed or attacked.
And it's because, Cory, we don't have Damien's mentality. If all of us understood people as dignity beings, we would feel ill doing the shit they're doing. And that's why I was saying, when they say to me, capitalism is the best system, Damien, I feel like punching them in the fucking face, truly. And not to be mean. I mean, it understand.
Not that one actually would.
I'm not saying I'd actually do it. I'm just saying it bothers me so fucking deeply because it's like you say, just understand. You say capitalism, and Damien hears, I like kids starving. I am totally cool with kids being uneducated. I am totally cool with kids not having shelter. I am totally cool with children not having clothes. That's what the fuck I hear.
I like bombing innocent people.
And people notice most of the time I'm pretty nice, right? So just imagine the fuming feeling I'm feeling and how nice I am to not be mean. Like I said, go back to kindness. Because what I fucking feel, not nice. I feel like blasting anybody that says capitalism is good. You're just ripping him a fucking new asshole. I mean, but I started out. I don't need to be. I'm also, I told you, I've been in PTSD, so I'm probably more social right now. So I need to apologize. I don't mean to be rude and stuff. It's legitimate. I'm not even fucking around. I really fucking care, man. And it's every time someone says that, that's all I hear. Children can fucking keep starving. And if you heard that, why would that not piss you off, Cory, or make you fucking hurt? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think socialism. I just hear, I don't give a fuck about starving children. And it's like,
yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So aside, so that shit, right, starts and then goes to eventually the fucked up thing in Iraq. I know people are probably going, this is the worst history ever. Read the blog if you really want to have just the facts, because I'm hey, whatever. Look, I know stuff people don't know. So, but anyways, it goes to Iraq, right, at 5,500, and then they know this for a fact. Archaeologists do. So they don't know about the connection to the Balkans. That's kind of suspicious. They think it may be, maybe not. I mean, it looks similar. Some of the writing and thinking, I'm like, yeah, it is related. I'm not saying the same people, but it's influenced. Like I said, it could be that the people, came and traveled and just visited and said hi. Didn't actually take over or conquer anybody, but they bring ideas. Like fucking now, people go, hey, look, I know how to do this. You're like, fucking cool, So somehow, right? But we know archaeologists know for a fact that Egypt did get a lot of their shit from Iraq, from the Sumerians.
Okay,
that is a fact. It's not 100%. Maybe 30% or something. So it's not 100%. I'm not saying that, but they got a little bit of their myths, which I think the Sumerians got a little of their stuff from the Matlop people, and the Matlop people relate to the North Asians.
Okay,
so I think it's Matlop people. But it's the culture that it's in the Caucasus Mountains, or like above them, sort of.
Okay.
But anyways, just so people know, it's like, because there's Turkey, and then there's in a sense Azerbaijan, Georgia, and which I think north of Georgia, or maybe Georgia itself, is part of the Matlop culture. I don't know, but it's up there. But so I know these people, they're all somehow moving around and related. And like I said, if there's pottery, North Asians brought it. So I know that all these pieces have pottery. So I know that they're all getting north. And they are. And plus I know pre-pottery B in Israel already has NDNA, and NDNA we know is North Asians. So North Asians, 7,000, what is it, 300 or 500 something, are already in Israel.
So, okay.
And then, like I showed you that one thing, right? And it's in the blog too. There's a white person that was buried in Egypt. Now, that doesn't mean that white people took over Egypt, but as I told you before, this concept that any part of the Egyptian religion is almost, I shouldn't take to that. That's wrong. A lot of, not any part. That was too much. That was too much, Damien. Let's not overstep that. A lot of the ideas are outside of Africa. So when people say, I'm African, I do the Egyptian religion, right, which is probably 70% not African.
Right.
Okay. So a little bit is. Yeah, you're right, a little bit. Here's another problem. It only is in the eastern north. So all the people from the slave trade, just so you know, came from the west, which is the Yoruba religion and other religions. Some of it, though, totemism is related to the North Asians. But that's not anything to do with Egypt. Those people didn't even have any fucking thing at all to do with Egypt. So, just saying. But which I try to think. But so when wearing another thing, I think it's funny too. And I don't have a problem with it. But the Ankh symbol actually used to be a menstrual cloth of blood, and that related to the goddess. And I'm thinking probably from a virgin, right? The best blood,
Right.
first
Right.
blood, which gets into that virgin crap. I think that relates to it. And they thought it's sacredness. So they would wear it. Kings, in fact, the pharaohs would wear a big one in battle, and all full of blood, and would wear it in battle.
Wow.
Yeah. And in
Some
fact,
kind of protection or whatever.
yes, it is. And correct. And Japanese wear this little knot, which actually relates to the god Tan, because that goddess magically turned into a god. But some of the understand deities back then also had mixed genders or two genders, or would switch genders, because that also is not uncommon. I mean, I'll say not uncommon. It's rare, but it happens. That's probably a better way of saying it. To me, common probably is overstepping.
Right.
It's not a lot of them, but there's some. So it's not like there's none. But like I said, I always told you before, I don't like listening to someone who never corrects himself, never has any fluctuation. I think, man, that's a lying motherfucker right there. Some of that shit can't be true because nobody, and like I said, nobody, if they're like, you see how I try to be real accurate. I'm not saying they're lying. What I'm saying is they're too generalizing, and probably some of the things is not totally accurate.
They might be overconfident, and they might just be, they might be full of shit, but they might be just overconfident.
And I can tell one person. There's also something I know, which I feel like some people don't do, is they judge person's intelligence. Sometimes people are just not good at defending an argument.
Yep.
That doesn't mean they're stupid.
Right.
Like, I think you're bright. But if I asked you right now, defend an explanation of how, or that's what I meant by defend, is that I want you to give me an explanation of how to explain animism. You certainly have heard it enough. I'm not going to do it. So you don't have to do it. But
I would have to take a minute to actually think about it and remember what I actually had learned so far.
Right. So that point was to show people. Do you see how someone who's worked with me for fucking hours and probably knows me now better than anybody but my wife, in a sense, as we've talked together a lot, and I'm always genuine. So you really do know who I am, because this is exactly how I act all the fucking time. My wife gets irritated by it. but I'm also cool. He also is cool too. I'm not saying I'm a dickhead, even like I'm going through stuff. I don't like use that as an excuse to abuse people, because once again, you stay a dignity being. Even though I could be, you're still a dignity being. That didn't change. So I know I can't do anything to you, and I shouldn't. Say shouldn't. I can't.
Shouldn't.
That's like when this one person goes, well, if you can destroy something with the truth, you should. And I said, the way you say that sounds not healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, to me, I offer the truth as a friend. Dude, I've had people that are in the middle of a debate with me start liking the fuck out of me because I treat them like a teacher, a kind teacher that just wants to help you. And dude, people love that shit. I got that person that I was debating, in a sense, for like 45 minutes before I came on here, which I was probably a little more riled up doing that. But it wasn't the best behavior. So once again, about behaviors, it wasn't the best behavior for me before I went to talk about this, but because it got me too sociopath, and on sociopath, I'm more like ready to fight,
ready to go.
Yeah. And I'm not good at the thinking, because I'm more like an acting mood, But I'm trying. But anyway, so once these things happen, so once they understand, the king is a king priest. You need to get this. This is so important. There was zero separation from religion. Zero. There was a state religion for the first time in Egypt. There was no, they say, let me clarify something, because if you read, they'll say the unification of Egypt. Kind of. Let's say somewhat. But just think of this. America has totally dominated the Native Americans. Would you say?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying a fact, right?
Yep.
Almost killed them into nothingness. It's not a good thing. Fuck America for doing that. Anyways, America should not just apologize. That is not good enough. You need to give back some fucking land like a shit lot. How about that? How about all the national parks? Turn them over tomorrow to the native peoples. That would be just a fucking start. Huh? Yeah.
Sounds like a good start.
Talking about helpful things. Please make it so every single African American is exempt from the draft. I think that's an easy thing to do, right? Yep. America has fucked African Americans like there's no tomorrow. The last thing they have to do is fucking die for this country. They have already done that. Died because of this country.
Yeah.
America is a killing name. I hate when people go, oh, America is great. Like I have a sign that says, I'm pro-America. I am. The idea, not America. America's a piece of fucking garbage. But the idea is not bad. All people are equal. That means, but were they? See,
the words written down are good.
Right. The words written down were, and they call it the Enlightenment. Yeah. And they own slaves. You sure they were enlightened? I don't fucking call people that have fucking slaves enlightened.
Yeah.
So, but remember, like I said, farmers start slavery, so don't blame that on the North Asians. They brought warrior cult. But so warrior cult comes down and mixes with the slavers, and that's where you get kings, I think, in the sense capitalism. But so capitalism first. But see, remember, it's moving around, right? It's fucked up. It's not controlled. So when it comes here, that's not the model that works. That doesn't make the best capitalism. Because everybody keeps robbing everybody. You need more consolation of power. That's why you need kings. So I'm trying to be fast now. So the kings, boom. Because I'm trying to show why. Or a rationale, I shouldn't say why. My reason, rationale, whatever, speculation, by looking at the evidence and understanding of how that could happen, or why that would logically, kind of go together like that. When you realize you want to get slaves, you want to own land, you want to have power, and now you're all this, like you said, hero worship and warrior cult and leader cult, really. Like leader becomes almost God because he's running the whole religion. He is in a sense, Godhead, right?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I heard that word before. Yeah, funny, yeah. Yeah, but so the concept I'm saying is, they start really in Iraq's trying to do it, but they're warring and still, right? Just like in Germany. So that capitalism can't really get going. So I would agree with the fact that the elements start, if they want to be, really dicks to me, right? Because they want to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not capitalism. Fine. Elements start in Germany. Elements get more developed, not totally, a little bit more, very little bit more, in the Balkans. Then they come to Iraq. They get even more developed, but still not 100% developed. They go to Egypt because Egypt does the thing different. They decide we want the whole area, not just one little town. We want the whole thing, all the towns, in a sense, the whole river or whatever, the Nile. We want the whole thing, or enough as much as we can take, in a sense. But that's a different mentality. For it's just, this is mine. No one's going to do it. We're going to trade and we're going to be rich. In our little town. So we're the best of this little town. But then they realize, fuck, if I had two towns, that'd be better than just one town. Anyways, right, capitalism. Like I have that one sign that shows a person, I'll work for food. Another person standing there, I'll work for less food. That's capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is it's exploitation.
Yep.
Fucking hate that. That's why I said, if you can explain to them, there's different kinds of capitalism. Oh, is there one where there's no exploitation?
No.
we don't call it that. Oh, you can call it fuck you want. It's still exploitation. But anyway, so Egypt is the one that made, and now I go back to, like I said, the book will say that they have a unified thing. I think that's Fantasyland. I don't think that I think that was him bragging. I think he did kind of do that, but I don't think he totally did that. And I think even the one after him still didn't kind of do that. And then the one after him kind of did that. That's when it finally, I think the third of the dynasty, I think this is the third, if I remember. Once I understood, I didn't need to keep fucking reading. but my point is, so I got that it has to do with this thing. You can see that, that's what I'm saying. Even though it goes to Egypt and Egypt kind of starts, it still evolves. That's what I'm trying to say. People understand. Religion is not like, oh, it's always been the same. No. And even when the stuff kind of comes, then it still changes. And how about this? even through time, it still changes. So I guess one archaeologist said the other day, I saw in somewhere, I can't remember now, so I can't claim where. Could have been Twitter, I don't fucking know. But I agree kind of, or I should say, I don't know. So that would be my speculation, what they said. I was like, that sounds like what I thought anyways, or would have thought, because I hadn't actually thought about it. But once I read it, I go, yep. They said, there has never been, or there was never one unified religion. No matter what the country was saying it did or not, there never was this totally unified. It was kind of, but still had like little branches and stuff. Fucking kind of like now. Is there one kind of Christian? You know what I'm saying? People,
like,
you know what's great about lies? You can just keep fucking lying, just make up new shit. Lies are great, man. You just keep fucking lying. So that's why I said, to me, when people get mad, but I go, yeah, to me, religion, besides being a cultural product, it's just organized lying. That's the fuck it is. You're all fucking lying. Shut the fuck up. You're lying. This is what I really hate too. If you prove to me, Cory, that I'm wrong, or even like you see, like when I talk sometimes, I think and I go, I correct myself. Nope. And then I even explain why I'm wrong. Right. The fact that once I understand, you would think, right? The logical step of what I understand, what's the logical step, Cory? To do what I just figured out, right? Well, I mean, if I figure out this is correct, like I said, if I can get people to grasp, that's what my goal is. So you guys want to push all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying you personally, but I feel like a lot of socialists want to push this. I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to make people feel uncomfortable being capitalist. That is my fucking goal. I want them to feel like they have fucking slime on them when they think of capitalism. That is my goal. I want you to hate capitalism like I hate it. That it is fucking oppression of the poor, of the innocent, of the weak. Anyways.
But Damien, communism bad.
Yeah. I don't know what you want to say. Like I said, okay. Even if it is, okay. I agree with you. Okay. But we can't have capitalism.
Yeah.
I want
this isn't working.
That's why I try to get this person to understand. No. It's not either or, motherfucker. If you say there's no communism, fine. I still don't want capitalism. Let's figure something else out. Actually, I have some ideas because I'm fucking smart. And I've already wrote some down. That's also why I want to do more talking with you. I want to explain more my ideas so that the world can know, because I really think it could help. Some of my ideas are fucking awesome. But my wife goes, you want to solve everything. That's your mind. God, it's terrible. I'm like, how is that terrible? But anyway, so let's go back to what we're talking about the old times. So once the stuff happened in Egypt, then right at 5,100, they say that they unified. That's probably, I said, I think maybe the third person actually did, but they kind of did. And the religion, they say, was all over the whole thing. Oh, our whole empire. And that's what, once again, like I said, bullshit. Calling bullshit on that. It was somewhat varied because people had. First off, we understand too. That's another thing too that people don't grasp about religion. If you say to me, which a lot of atheists will say, religion was invented to control people, and I go, some of it was. That's true. All of it was, I do not believe. And I do agree with some person told me before, well, a shaman is controlling and power. Yeah, but he was also helping the thing. It was like, you need to understand, they did like medicine man. So they kind of thinking. So they also did emotional support and stuff. So
right. I think it's hard to say that something was invented to control people when you could say it became a tool.
It's got
at
positive.
Times,
I don't buy it. Like I said, to me, even totemism has a couple negatives, but it's still, totemism stopped raping women, stopped child being. Did, man. It stopped. Totemism stopped men fucking their kids, big time. Their DNA after 40,000 drops massively for incest. All of a sudden, it's not happening. You know, guys like fucking. So somebody has a rule. That's why I know totemism happened too. Besides all kinds of art and things and culture and stuff and movement of people and how they behave and that I understand. Because here's the thing, I have a degree in psychology, so when I look at things, I also understand the psychology of it. So I
Right.
understand the psychology, I understand the details, the facts, I understand the movement, I understand the pottery, I understand the animal husbandry, I understand the art. I mean, I understand the geography. I mean, so I've studied everything because I feel like, how else would I know?
Yeah.
But so they do this stuff, right? That's I was trying to explain, because you read the history books, sometimes they make it sound, but understand too, I don't think it's they're trying to lie. Like me, when I say, if you said, how old's paganism? Oh, 12,000. Well, it could be 13.1 or maybe 12.9 or 12.8 or 12.6 or 12.4 or 12.1 or who the fuck knows. But that's what I'm trying to say is, so but when I try to explain things, imagine if everything I tried to explain to you, I had to give you details like that. That would
Right.
be a fucking
Right.
5-hour video. It's fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous. Then you also would miss the whole point. That's like the book. I'm gonna try to make it even simpler because it's easy to get too lost, and that way you can just follow it. Zoom, 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 zoom. But understand, there's a lot of detail. I'm giving you, and I know you got to go.
Yeah. My monsters sound like they're making noises.
Well, that's all. I'm gonna try to wrap it up. We're almost at the end because, like I said,
Sure.
we got to things. So capitalism is still going. Now it's just the kings are doing it. It was unorganized, totally. So like I said, more like bazaars almost or something, or like it's like a movie. It's not it. So it is kind of like an empire, but almost like Mongols. Think of that. Like they're moving around. They're just totally nomadic. But they're to call them not powerful would be fucking crazy, right?
Right.
And to say Mongols didn't have an empire would be really fucking stupid.
Yeah. It
These
seems a
people
little
were not
incorrect.
right. So you get my. So I'm saying that's. I'm trying to help you understand. Like these people, even though like the archaeology says, well, they didn't. They were just like all you kept fighting, and yeah, they were fucking crazy. They're fucking violent as fuck. That's why all that shit was like. That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I know that's the start. That's where it started. Because you know it's the arrogance. I can just kill you and take everything I want. I'm fucking great. I matter. You don't matter. You know, it's that. So and almost. So and I'm just saying. So it's already that mentality. So the kings then become just a continuation of this and a more amping of it. I am
Right.
only one that matters, and I can do everything. In fact, I can kill you. I can do whatever I want. Yeah. So that human life, that whole thing becomes horrid. So that helps you understand. To me, that's like the birth of the state in a sense. The state wants the religion because this goes to the control part.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't invent religion. See, religion's already there, but they
Right.
go, oh, hey, guess what? The goddess Ishtar or Iana, whatever. I'm now married to her, so I'm now
Right.
related in a sense. So I am a demigod, or what you want to call it, right? Or something.
Yep.
Certainly special somehow. I'm related to this. To speak, I'm the only one, right? I'm married to them. I'm the only one. And of course, I have sex with a real woman, so she's embodying the goddess or whatever.
Of course.
And probably even did it in public. That wouldn't surprise me. On top of the temple, maybe. But the maybe the front of it, I don't know, because the temple relates to of mountains and stuff. To me, the Golden Mountains that are in Siberia, like the Altai Mountains. But I think all the stuff that's pyramids, mounds, all of it is that. That's what I think. Because even if you look at it, they have points that look like pyramids. I mean, they're
Right.
all white, but I mean, I'm like, oh fuck, there it is. But I don't think exactly that pyramid shape though may have got first, because when they first moved, they're flatter and round. So I also think that evolved because everything. Guess what? Is not true. It just keeps evolving. Not like the facts that don't, But so anyways, it kept evolving. I'll try to speed it up. So it kept evolving. So I'm just trying, because I want you to grasp. It's not. Don't think of it so static, like
Right.
It's more like. Yeah, like the Mongols or something. It's like, yeah, they kind of like, where were they at? Well, it depends on what day it is. It could be, or what year, month or whatever, what they're doing, because they could be raiding or whatever. So they're like moving around a lot. People did not think of, people nowadays don't move. People back then didn't stay. That's they really moved a lot. So that's why thousands of miles, ideas. But then, like I said, it's not one culture. It's these people. Then, like I said, they have a bazaar. Everybody, like a powwow or something. Everybody goes. And they, because you pick up chicks. Believe it or not, it was crazy. People liked fucking back then and not their own family, because never totemism said you can't. So you got to go somewhere and find other people. So I'm not saying they called it powwows, by the way. I'm trying to help people get a mental picture so you can grasp exactly what these cultures were like. So what their behavior. So I'm saying is because the cities traded more in the cities, they were way more. But these other people, shit, they were nomadic as hell. But still, they're limited. I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. That they didn't go like these people personally did not go to the Americas, but these people affected these cultures, who affected then another culture, who then shot up here, and then they stopped, and then those people in the north went, "Hey, that's great." Then they shot, and then the people from the north then shot down, and then when they shot down, then another culture, or maybe the same one. That might think at the Americas, it might a little bit more so, but it's still what I'm saying. I was like, say it came down. This person stayed, these went to Florida or something, you know what I'm saying? Or it started coming down, and this one went in Canada all the way to Newfoundland.
Right.
But this one, like Kennewick, man, XDNA, right? And XDNA in 7,523 or some shit. The red paint people, look it up, in Canada. That's what I'm talking about. They built the only dolmens in the Americas that I know of, because at the same time, dolmens are being done by XDNA. I think it's X1 and X2 or something like that. Or maybe it's X1, but it's X1B, X1A or something. It's once again, as I'm trying to say, it's not exactly the same. It's what I'm trying to give people like, well, it's XDNA. Your concept of that is fucking wrong, because like I could have I guess once again, did I go and do war 7,000 years ago? But some of
not personally.
I'm just saying, but my family did. My family was actually on both sides. My father comes from the side, the North Asians in a sense, and my mother comes from the farmers. So the people that were warring, but see, that doesn't mean that's me. See what I'm saying? People like, oh my God, people, you need to fucking do more science if you get that lost. But I also understand. I've looked at a lot of stuff, so I'm not like I know you told me before, which is appropriate. I don't want to like shame people. You know what? There was a time I knew nothing, and I never forget that. Never. I post that shit almost every day. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I post it. Every expert was once a beginner or something like that, because I really want people to grasp. Do not be scared or like intimidated by my facts or my knowledge or my mind or my thing. I'm not trying to dominate you. I really want you to be powerful. I want to empower you like me. Oh, and that's you have to be a copy. That's what you understand too. Don't copy me. I'm not saying you to talk like me, because that's not what's affecting. Actually, if you way you talk, if you had my mind, would be way better than how I do. Believe me, you could. In fact, you would be famous already. If you had everything that I have, you would be famous as motherfucker right now. But because of who I am, and I can't help it, I'm like I said, I was a street kid. Does everybody understand that? I've eaten fucking grass before. I starved. And I don't even sound like someone that was in America, Or like, what country did I like? I wasn't cared for. I was almost 100% neglected.
Right.
I fucking broke into neighbor's house, broke in my own house. I got good at it. I'd slide the whole damn window out because I had to. One time I ate so many oranges, my mouth got canker sores. This goes back to what I'm saying about when you say kids can't eat. There's zero excuse for me. I'm seriously. It's like another thing too, real quick. Take the fucking kids out of the cages. I don't care if they're from another country. Get the fucking children. What the fuck that? Period. Sorry. But the same thing. Just imagine the people, a long time ago. It hurts my fucking heart, man. That this shit is happening. Like I said, look at here I am, right? I'm pretty smart. I fucking suffer with this debilitating PTSD because of my fucking childhood. And that's why when people say it's okay for that to continue, how possibly could I be okay with that?
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm fucked up because of that. And you're saying it's okay?
Just imagine how these children are going to be affected for the rest of their lives.
Another thing too, I've seen studies that say it does affect you. Do you know that neglect alone, and I had fuckloads of neglect. I mean, I had neglect for like days. I mean, I had medical neglect. You know, that's only 3% of people got that abuse. That's how rare that is. And I had it. Medical neglect. that when you need medical care, like you broke something or you're black, I cracked my head open, it was bleeding, and they did nothing. I could
Yeah.
have fucking died. I'm just saying, but my brother fell down the stairs, broke his arm, nothing. I stabbed him with the pitchfork. That was bad behavior. I apologize to my brother for that. And please don't hurt others.
Yep.
I suffer from being a sociopath, and it's abuse. I was fucking hobbled as a human, man. And it's only now that I'm able to do it. And so I want to say that this thing of power, do you see why it so disgusts me? Because all I hear is that it's a glorification of oppression. And that's why I don't want anyone to do that to me either. Don't do that. Because it disgusts me. Hero worship disgusts me. So anyways, knowledge, great, like me, appreciate me, cool, like me, cool. Don't fucking worship me. That's just disgusting. But anyways, because I want you to be power. I'm not telling you so I can be powerful. I want you to be powerful. But anyways, let's close it up. Could you go and could you go ahead and explain your understanding of capitalism, like the beginning of it for you? Because I know you guys have if you never heard it from me, what would you say? Because I know everyone's not heard it from me. Real quick,
it's a very modern understanding of capitalism where people like own the means of production, right? Factories,
Can you
land.
explain what that means to people that may not understand that? What do you mean by the means of production?
The means of production is like factories or land or
so people explain
buildings.
So in other words, you're saying we communally work together and own things, and everybody's in a sense an equal owner in the system. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like well, I mean,
I'm saying, please explain it because I want. The point is, I know there's a lot of people that follow me that are capitalists that are open to learn. So I really want to explain because then they will change. It's not that there's a lot of times people don't get this. It's not that people sometimes don't want to change. It's you haven't given them the value.
Right.
Because man, what like me? Do you think like after I talk, do you think, Cory, with how I explained it, that I can ever be okay with capitalism?
No, I don't think so.
What is it that bothers me?
Exploitation.
Exactly. So can that ever change? You see what I'm saying? Because it's a value. Do you ever see that changing?
Within capitalism?
No, within me.
Oh, no, I don't see that. Yeah, no. I don't see that. Yeah.
Because of the value. Do you get why the value is so important? Yeah. I won't change because my value is I do not agree that any child should ever suffer. A child should be able to have a fucking safe life, free of harm. That's not too much to ask. That's like fucking basic. I think it should have way the fuck more than that. But I'm just saying I demand the basics. Housing, food, shelter, all that. That shit should be, to me, I'm not trying to be angry. I know. The reason I'm trying to go back to the value, because I'm trying to say, Cory, we need to get them the value because once they understand, like me, that you can't change. So I was trying to say, once you understand how I think, how the fuck can I ever change? How could I ever be explained capitalism? And all I ask is, I just go, okay, don't tell me the names. Is it still wage slavery? Because if that's still going on, I am fucking not okay with it.
Yeah.
Here's another thing too. You want to call it communism and you have wage slavery? Fuck you. I'm not okay with it. I am not. To me, it is immoral. Like I said, if you come work for me and I say you're my friend and you're my family and I feel really close to you, Cory, and then I rob you, what kind of a fucking person am I, man? That's what, but I'm just so people understand. And also, like I said, I'm not attacking capitalists because I really feel we're all victims. And I also understand I get it that you don't have a choice. That's how fucked up it is. That's why we all need to understand this to change it.
For sure.
Because just me understanding it doesn't help fucking nothing unless everyone else understands it. So please explain. I'm sorry. I'm just saying this is important.
Yeah, for sure. So modern capitalism, the way that I would have understood it before we had discussed, is that a select few people who have accumulated wealth through various means own the majority of like land. They own the majority of factories,
Money.
places that produce goods that through the labor of other people,
Right.
and they collect all that money and then distribute wages based on
Right. Just in other words, how I see it, and just so people can understand, like so they can get like how I see capitalism. You know, like when in like movies, right? You have the mob will come into like a business and go, you don't want to have your business damaged, right? They go, no, I need to have money, and then your business won't get damaged.
Yep.
And that's capitalism to me. They feel like, because look what they go, I'm giving you a job, thus I can steal 90% of your labor.
Yeah. You don't want to starve, right?
Yeah. Look, I'm giving you a job. Aren't I feeding you?
Yep.
It just,
Without
see, how is that any different than
would
the
be
mob
homeless.
telling you I can feed you up, right? At the mob. Look, you can have safety as long as you pay.
Yep.
Wait, isn't that capitalism? Look, you can get some money as long as I can take most of yours. That's capitalism to me.
Yep.
As long as I can steal most of Cory's labor, then we're okay. Because capitalism, they always go, oh no, it's about selling. Oh no, that's just bullshit. But communists sell, right? So that's bullshit.
Yep.
And I'm a socialist. I have you guys know another thing too. I'm not against money, because to me, money is a concept. It's a concept. It's what you fucking do with this shit. To me, what you say is money ethically should be used for the benefit of humanity and dignity beings. Hey, that's fucking great. And that would also mean animals, because guess what? Shocker. If you're logical, you can't limit dignity being to fucking humans. But so can you tell me real quick? So now we explain capitalism. Tell me why you're an anti-capitalist. Because, that's my favorite. I don't like even better than socialism. I love hearing capitalism get destroyed. So go ahead, please. Or why? Why are you a capitalist? I mean, why are you anti-capitalist? It's so good.
Because I believe in actual freedom. So I don't consider freedom the freedom to own things or to buy multiple types of ketchup. I consider freedom the freedom to do what I will with my life. And as it stands, I have to sell my labor in order to survive. So I don't have the freedom to do what I will with my life.
And people go, well, like, who does that matter? Really? Why isn't Damien more famous? Damien should have taught all the people. This should be and I'm not saying like a Damien movement or something, but my point is, because I'm trying, it's not me. I'm trying to say what I'm about. I want a whole world of reason is my only master. That's it. Nothing else. Not anyone's name, not anything, but it makes sense that you start with this premise that everything, reason is my beauty, my lover, truth, and that's my persuader. I want the fucking real. And so I'm just saying, when we look at that's why I feel like rationalism to me is real important, because skepticism could say we don't have to help kids, and I could come up with all kinds of skeptical reasons. But rationalism to me analyzes it a little different.
Right.
Because it's not looking for why I shouldn't or what's wrong with it. Right? Because you're going to analyze it, and generally it reminds me of my friend called it negative reading. When you read something like that's how all atheists, because he was talking about how atheists read the Bible. Right? If I'm an atheist and I go read the Bible, it's negative reading. I am looking to rip it apart. I am not, in other words, I'm not reading to learn. I'm not reading to understand. I'm reading to destroy, in a sense, but that's actually not a good way for truth. That's what I'm saying. It's a good way to destroy. So that's what I say about skepticism. It's not that it's like a screwdriver. It's not that it doesn't have benefits, but it's not good at doing that one thing that I was talking about. It's better at destroying stuff than actually building anything. And since truth has to be built, you need something else. And that's why, to me, the skeptics movement is good for people to challenge things. It's not like I said, once again, I'm not saying it has to go away. It needs to add rationalism like a motherfucker.
Yep.
Bad.
Well, I think that's fair. Well, and you can see it like sure, I identify with skepticism, right?
Right.
But you can absolutely see within skeptical circles, they need to add a level of rationalism, or else you wouldn't have people who are anti-feminist or anti-social justice.
Anti-trans. Speaking of which,
Right.
fucking Dawkins can go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Hey! And here's another thing, Dawkins. If you think you can take me on mentally, fucking bring it on. Because the whole world can watch me show you something. I guarantee it. But anyways, sorry. Normally I don't do that, so I need to apologize. I really, but because I don't. Sorry, I'm gonna take that back because I don't want to use my abilities to harm people. I'm seriously. It goes to ethics again about dignity beings. Even though I don't like what Dawkins said, I did respect him for an atheist and some of the science stuff.
Yep.
But what he said about trans people is fucking inhuman.
Yeah,
it's fucked up. It's fucked up. And I support trans people. So I'm just saying, but he's still a dignity being. So and like I told you, it's really hard for me because I suffer this problem, ethics. I mean, fucking serious. It's like, yeah, it's like a plague, man. I just can't do shit. Sucks.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing too, though. I don't, and I said that being joking, but I really not trying to joke. That's actually my sociopath. Fuck him. So what my point should be that Dawkins deserves dignity. What I need to do is say, Dawkins, you deserve dignity. The same thing trans people deserve.
Yes, exactly.
And that's without being angry and stuff. That's really the issue.
Yep.
I don't want to be angry. And actually, I take it back. I don't want to fight Dawkins, even though it wouldn't be a big deal. But that's not. But because that's not what I want to do. I'm just saying to you. That doesn't matter. Well, even if I could beat everybody, even if every single atheist I could beat, and what benefit is that? To me, I don't like. That's why one guy said to me, "What do you bench? Like, what's your max?" And I said, "I don't know." He said, "You don't know what your max is?" And I said, "I'll never do that because that's bragging. I never do that, ever. I just work out. I feel that as a form of bragging. I want to find what the max I can do. Yeah, tell me that's not bragging. Fucking ego. Yeah, you're a little ego.
For sure, it's for building ego.
Right.
That's right.
And I hate
100%.
ego. Ego's a piece of shit. It's a fool loves their ego. Dude, I've seen people put their ego over their spouse, over their own fucking life, their job. It's disgusting. People will die. People have killed people over ego. People have started whole wars over ego. It's horrid. People are like, "Oh, well, no, that's it." No, it really isn't. I tell them it's a social error. It really is. And you know what's so fucked up about it? It allows people like me to get into your mind. I can, at like a key, and I'm telling you this, and I don't do it because it's wrong. Because I feel like, I told you, you said about freedom. See, is it okay for one dignity being to be able to get into the mind of another dignity being and fuck with them till it hurts them? Is that okay?
No.
See?
No.
And so that's why I'm saying, but if you understand that's why I said it's so important. That's what the violation of kings. You're saying this human is somehow better and then all their children are better just because they're related to you? It's horrid. It goes back to the same things. I hate kings. I'm against that shit. No kings.
Yeah, like I don't want. I want to make a clarification. Like I don't want to. I use myself as an example. When I'm discussing things, I don't want freedom just for me, right? Like I want that for everybody. I don't believe that any of us is truly free unless all of us are truly free. So
I love that. That's how I feel. Totally. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said about anti-classist is to me the way to explain that. It's my way, I guess. Because I mean, no classes.
Yeah.
None. Not even someone's more intelligent, someone's stupid. None of that.
Yeah.
That's all to me class. Someone's a different race, all class. Someone's different sexuality, all class. Someone's trans, not trans, all class. That's how you should respect all. You should respect it. But my point is, you shouldn't see one as better than the other because to me, that's just classism. To me. That's right. And I don't do that. I see it's evil. I see it's like a seed of hate is what it is. Because it's that I'm better. It's like people go, well, I'm from Germany, or I'm from Austria, or I love my country. When you say that shit, do you know how I feel? I don't love myself. That's what I hear. Because to me, if you really understood that you're a dignity and you're valuable, like I said, I told you, I had a fucked up childhood. Could you imagine having that and then looking at kids hurting and go, who gives a fuck, right? You know, it fucking breaks my heart, man. I'm telling you, I wish I would take my clothes off and give it to them. What I mean, it just breaks. And the fact that somebody's okay with that, it's hard for me. And like I said, I know that I probably get too extreme about it because of my fucking childhood. But once you understand what I went through, here's the point. Why? Why should I have to tell you that? Like you said, you want to be free. It doesn't need some defense. Here's the thing. They need to explain why they're going to take power over us. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Like, power needs to justify itself.
Backwards world.
Yeah, that's right. We live in a world where power is accepted inherently.
Inherently, that's my issue.
Yeah.
It's like they think it's natural, and when I say that freedom, they're like, freedom?
We don't have freedom. What are you talking
about? I'm like, look, everyone's
Yeah.
equal. Oh, fuck no, because these people are smaller than you, or taller than you, or older than you, or younger than you, or different sex than you, or a business person, or right? Because they're different. They're a business person. Like somehow that's a good class of people.
Right. Yeah, like the idea of this is something I hear a lot is get a real job, as though there are jobs that don't count.
I hate that. What is that? Class is bullshit.
Yeah.
That's like this one person said to me, "Oh, Damien, what you do is so much more important than what I do," or something. I go, "You're a dignity being. I don't think you're understanding at all. See, you're looking at me as I'm going to do something, and the whole time I'm trying to make you more powerful. I don't want you to. I'm not doing anything. I don't. Have I joined any group? I'm not even in an anarchist group of any kind. I am connected to zero groups or people, except you, I guess. Here's the thing, though. People understand. I am starting to add some more people. I'm very picky. I mean, very picky. Because I want to hear someone who's almost already like me, an anarcho-humanist, whether you call yourself that or not. It's a behavior. That's like, once again, do you care about people? Does that matter? When I hear Cory say that he cares about freedom, I know, sounds like an anarcho-humanist to me. Everyone's equal. Sounds like an anarcho-humanist. Everyone should be treated with dignity. Anarcho-humanist, like you said too, no death penalty. That's exactly anarcho-humanist. Of course you can't do that. What the fuck? Right. Yeah. Or like saying that you have to care about kids. Of course you have to care. You're an anarcho-humanist. Yep. That's what, because here's the thing. It's no gods, no masters, do no harm, and do good. If you don't do that, do not call yourself an anarcho-humanist. You have to both do no harm intentionally, like me. And here's the thing about harm. People can harm you and you still don't harm them. That's, to me, an anarcho-humanist. What I mean by that is people are calling me a faggot. I did not harm them. And I told you, Cory, and you know this, I have ability to really do stuff because I'm good at it. But I don't do it because that's wrong. It's like, no, it's like if my brain's a machine gun. Is that appropriate to kill everybody that talks to me? I mean, that you would be like, what the fuck? This guy's insane. So that's why I'm saying too, because the reason I bring this up too is not just for myself. I don't want any other, and I'm going to tell you how I see myself. I told you this before. I am a servant leader. And what I mean by that is I don't want any praise. I just want to get credit. See the difference?
Yeah. I
want credit. I've done a fuck lot. I want credit, but I don't want praise because that's glorification. I don't need that. Yeah. I need credit because I did a good job. Cory does a good job. You don't praise is this capital or whatever. I don't know. It's not me. It's not anarcho-humanist because you should be caring about do no harm and do good. Where did you say I care about me?
Right.
Do no harm. That's other people, right? Because you certainly, if you would like to, you can harm yourself. So do no harm is not really about you. It's about other people. So I know I simplify it by saying do no harm. I mean, do not harm people. Actively do not harm people. Do not harm people that attack you. Try not to, at least. In other words, what I mean by that is, say Cory tries to punch me. Even if I have a gun, I'm not just going to shoot him. I'm going to try to physically push him away, because that's a reasonable response to what happened. Somebody hits me in the arm with a skateboard. I don't murder them. What the fuck?
Yep.
Just saying. That's not, to me, self-defense. That's flat out fucking murder. Even for me. If I did that, I would call that murder. Now, if I shot him in the leg, reasonable maybe. Or whatever. Then I could get away or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, anarcho-humanist. It's not that you never do violence, but all things, including violence, should be reasoned, should be caring, should be do no harm and do good. Well, do good might be I have to kill someone because they're a murder and to kill someone else or whatever.
Right,
You know?
to prevent them from killing somebody.
I said, I shoot him in the leg. Like here's another thing too. I used to teach this in truck driving. When you're a truck, your likelihood of getting a crash is high.
Yeah.
So what your goal to do is to have the crash you want. I know that sounds crazy, but you think, if I swerve super hard, this car will be killed. If I just hit the front of the engine or the tire, no one will be killed. So if I have to crash into the car, I need to pick the tire and not the door where the human is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I may be slipping out of control and I'm going to hit him no matter what, but I can almost guide it a little bit. So what I'm doing is do no harm, and do good. So what also I do is, once the crash done, I try to help, right? Because do no harm and then do good. I'm serious. I know it sounds simple, but this is, like I said, they're dignity beings. It's actually the whole web of your entire morality should be this. It's like, it's like the starting foundation. You start with this, and that's how you get morals, to me. Or it helps for people that don't grasp this. But I'm saying, so that's why once you understand that, how to get value and how to do morals, then you realize, well, everyone deserves freedom. That's just, of course.
Yep.
And, well, everyone deserves human rights, of course. And I want to eat. Everybody should fucking eat. What the fuck? Everybody should eat. I mean,
we aren't free. People aren't free if they can't eat, or if they don't have a safe place to stay, or if they don't have their basic needs met.
It's not moral to let someone starve on the street when you have excess. When you not only have some, you have excess, and you let. How about this? Like, I have a sign I post a lot on everywhere, but now I only have Twitter because I got banned everywhere else. But I posted a sign that I held out in Seattle that says that there's more empty houses than there are homeless people. And my point is, we need to tomorrow, go house the homeless.
Yep.
I don't even care how much it costs. Take something.
I don't care who they belong to.
I don't know. Whatever I don't know. How about this? Take away the politicians' pay. I don't know, something. Whatever. Tax those motherfuckers. I don't
There's
know.
a bunch of people right now talking about reducing the pay for people in Congress to that of the median wage earner right now, which is in America for $44,600 a
Dude,
year.
that's what I'm saying. See, because are they servant leaders? No, they're pretty bragging, right? They're glorified. Oh, look at Obama. He's so amazing. If you did it to me, I would tell you to go fuck off. Okay? I don't like that shit. So, you know why? It's not healthy.
Yeah.
I want healthy rationalists. Rationalists don't do unhealthy things. That's not rational, is it? Is it rational to do unrational things? No. So that's why I'm saying why it's so important to get rationalism. Skepticism is good. And I use skepticism, by the way, but I use it, like I told you, is almost a sentence as a rationalist. But people can be skeptic. And I'm not saying anything wrong with having a skeptic. My mind just already is a rationalist. It's just how I think. You know, I'm methodological even. So especially because my wife, just so you know, I kind of wasn't before. But living 15 years or 16 years or 17, how much? 17. 17 years of my wife, who is, oh man, she's massively good at thinking and stuff. Woo. And anyways, but she basically helped me be method. She is methodological. I mean, she lives and breathes. Because in her sense, just so people understand, I'm a rationalist. I do reason super good. I'm probably gifted best ever for reason. I'm not ever, but I mean, I'm super freaking good at reason. She's super good at the next step, logic. So that's why she's better than me a lot of times, because what logic does to me is it puts reason in ordered sets to make it more reasonable. In a sense. But anyways, so go ahead, Cory. Could you please? I know you got to go. This was a great, I think. And please read the blogs. I'm telling you, I work hours on this shit, and it's tons of my knowledge that even archaeologists would be blown away. People understand, if you read all this, this is so amazing. If everybody put it on TV, it would be the most amazing thing that's ever happened, ever. What I have figured out about religion is more than anyone ever, more than Joseph Campbell, and his shit was bullcrap, I found out. My shit, when archaeologists look at, is not bullcrap. Maybe I'm a little bit, tad wrong on something, but I'm telling you, the big picture, I got it.
And it's all on Patreon, but you can access it for free.
It's not just Patreon. People understand. I always try to tell them it's free access.
Yeah,
and understand. I don't have money. That's not why it's free. So people think like, oh, Damien must be, financially wealthy. Fuck no, I'm almost homeless. In fact, I was homeless. We went and lived at my for how long? Daughter-in-law. How long have we lived there?
4 months.
4 months. So I want to be accurate because I'm not trying to, what do they call that?
Lie.
Oh no, but it's called like stolen valor or something.
Okay.
It's anyways, I need to go. But it's a type of church. So I don't want to do that. So, but I'm just saying is that it definitely makes a difference. So, but anyways, I wanted everyone to understand, though. I really want everyone to understand Cory is an amazing person, and I really appreciate your efforts. I do appreciate other stuff. I'm sorry I don't listen to all of it, but I actually don't listen to anybody. So I was like, they go, did you hear that one thing from? I don't listen to nobody. I watch either history or like fish and music. That's it. I don't.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But anyways, I just want people to know that I really do appreciate you, and you're an amazing person. So could you go ahead and plug yourself and what you do, because it's way more than just being with me.
Sure, it's my YouTube channel is The Mind of a Skeptical Leftist. That's also a podcast in a podcast form if that's your preferred medium. My Twitter handle is @skepticallefty, and I like to post memes on Instagram. So that's at Anarchy in the SK.
Right on.
For those Sex Pistol fans who know about what that Saskatchewan is SK.
Right on. Well, that's everything too. You're from Canada. I'm from America, so people know. But do you see how another thing is too is we didn't, in a sense, know each other before, but I feel like, don't you, that even though I talk a lot, but I try to make it so that we're equal. I try.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you're explaining things, so it's like
hard.
What am I going to do? I'm going to listen, and I'm going to try and learn.
Right.
so
speaking of which, have you read any of the stuff, or could you give us like some of the ideas that you've learned so far? Because I'm really interested, just real quick, so people know things that you think is real cool.
Like what I've learned over the series, kind of thing.
Yeah, just real quick.
I mean,
for people.
I think that people misunderstand prehistory a lot of ways. There's been a lot of like they draw lines through things where it's more like I want to say dialectical, but I might not be using that term correctly, because everything's kind of mixed. Like one thing comes from here and then it goes back to another place, and
right,
like
it's like here and then there and then there and then there, because this does this, that does that, this does this, that does
right.
that, this does it's a total cluster shit. But yeah, go ahead.
But it's all very materialist. Like we're not using any supernatural explanations. We're using very like
DNA and archaeology,
real evidence-based explanations for things.
Yeah. So. What other people already agree, I'm just putting it like together. So that's what I said before too, like in the last video. I really do appreciate the archaeologists. I'm not like these other guys. And in fact, I say shit that's why I think too. I hate when people go, oh, well, I have wild theories. Dude, my theories are fucking revolutionary. It's like I'm re-explaining history for the people. That's what one archaeologist said. It's like learning history all over again. And he is a fucking professor who's an archaeologist and said he's a doctorate. I don't know. I should say that. I don't know what exactly, but he's definitely an archaeologist, a professional archaeologist. I don't know what his degree is, but he's a college professor. I know that for a long time, and But so he said, reading my stuff, or I shouldn't say he said, I should be more accurate, to be honest, right? Or I like to be better, So I had made a post and said that reading my blogs is like relearning history all over again for the first time. And then he liked that. So what does that tell you? The archaeologist was like, yes, I agree. That's what it fucking felt like. Because that's what it does feel like when you read my blog. Like, holy fucking shit. Yeah.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
But here's the thing too. It's go ahead. But I wasn't trying to, just to be able to know. It's not like these other people. They try to be salacious. I actually wasn't. In fact, I wasn't even going to do some of the stuff that goes in Americas and connects and all this wild stuff. I told my wife, I think it's too wild. People are not going to believe it. It's too fucking like crazy. And she goes, yeah, but it's true. You should do it. I'm like, and then she goes, well, could you figure it out? Because I was like, I don't know. I kind of know, but I hadn't looked exactly. And she told me to look more. So it took me about a month and a half, and I figured it out. The connections. But it took me a month and a half. But hey, it didn't take me that long. That's what I say. I don't understand why people don't want to fucking pay me to do shit. I'm fucking smart as fuck. But anyways, so that yeah. Anyways, go ahead and finish the thing. So you see the connections too. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it I obviously I can't memorize it. It's a lot of information, but yeah, like I find it interesting, and the interplay between religion and kind of the socialistic and kind of the society, the way that they structure themselves.
Yeah,
I find that really interesting.
Oh, so do I. That's very, in a sense, anthropological. Oh, I love that. So I like archaeology and anthropology, but I like ethnography too, because that super helps, man. Because you have someone worshiping snakes, pin pictures, and then the local people say that they have a snake god. Well, I mean, I'm not saying it has to be the same, but there's certainly, it gives you. And sometimes they go, well, we do this behavior. And you're like, that looks like the picture, okay, but or whatever. But it's certainly a better reference than thinking of Christian stuff. See what I'm saying? That's like wrong as fuck.
I think also like where part of it is like, okay, so throughout the evolution of religious and spiritual beliefs, it becomes more obvious that there is no God and there is no belief that is, it's all fabricated, kind of man-made in a sense.
And you see it like a piece here, piece. That's why I said when you really get it, and I know it's complicated, but it really helps. And they go, why is it important? Well, here's why. Because I just explained how all of it happened.
Right.
Don't you get that? I just explained religion and culture, both of them. But yeah, I figured it out. Why? Because they always go, why are all these myths the same? And yeah, because there's not exactly the same, but there's similar stuff moving around. But see, here's the thing. Like I was saying about one thing. It's you see, one people brought something, and then someone else did something, and then they moved here, and then they also moved back, and they brought their stuff that got influenced originally from the people that they now took it back to, who didn't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But then, as you said, then it evolves a little more, but then it goes somewhere else, and they evolve it even more. And then, that's why I said I agree. Eventually, you get like modern capitalism, but it wasn't like it was nothing, and then modern capitalism just sprung up out of fucking nowhere.
Right. Yeah, like a lot of times people will frame the capitalism showing up as a type, like as just the revolution from feudalism into capitalism
completely.
And I think that you can draw, like, if you're drawing a line through exploitation, you can go back farther and say, like, here is what is going on and where this
7,000 years ago, for sure, there's slavery as a practice. 5,000 years ago, for sure, it was common everywhere.
Right. Like, call it whatever you want, but
yeah, I mean, exactly.
It's like you have a linear type or dialectical type of feed loop where you can show what happened and where it came from.
And that's why I showed in that picture here the king, and I put capitalist elite. So I'm trying to help people how I see it. Then where the one guy down there is the lead, whatever, I put boss.
Right.
You understand in our concept, like, how is this that different? And then I said, look, wage slave. These people are working for a wage, for an out.
Right.
They get food, they get alcohol, and then I think they might have got like a little bit of money or something. But anyways, I know you got to go.
Yeah, I better get going.
I was saying, also, that there was the first 3,000, I think it's 200 and something. I showed you is the first what's it called again? Strike. The first strike because it was like 2 weeks or something. They didn't get their food and their alcohol or whatever, or maybe just alcohol, but I don't remember exactly. But the point is they didn't get their wages. And then they were being cheated of their wages. Like now, I'm like, how does that not sound like capitalism?
Yeah.
Are they? So my point is they weren't slaves. They were wage slaves like now. Yeah. So you're saying wage slavery happened a long time ago, but that's not capitalism. Okay, whatever. And I showed you who the capitalist elite is, and I showed you they had bosses, and everything is the same structure as now. It's hierarchy as fuck. Glorification of the billionaire. I mean, right? Elon. Even Dawkins. Let's go back to. I'm just saying. Go back to reason real quick. I know. I apologize. I'm being a dickhead, but go back to just
no worries.
Go back to Dawkins saying that Elon Musk, a billionaire who has profited off the wage slavery of I don't know how fucking many people, and doesn't give all that money to starving children, because that's the fuck what I would do if I was a billionaire. I'd be feeding. I'd be homeless. I'd be making. So, anyways, the fact that Dawkins says that something I don't remember what he said, but people should be. I think it says I'm not quoting him correctly, but the gist of what I thought I remembered. So don't hold me to this. It was something about Elon Musk is good in some way, and I'm like, this motherfucker got reason anymore? I mean, does he just fucking not? Is he senile, or is he just capitalist?
For the record, Elon Musk has never had an original idea in his entire life. He grew up rich, and he stole ideas from people he paid. The end.
Yeah, exactly. You get what I'm saying? So the fact that he said that, besides the trans thing, that's another thing where I go, wow, Dawkins, what the fuck?
He also posted some article about how we need to stop saying that conservative parents don't understand critical race theory, except for the fact that they don't understand critical race theory. So
he's lost reason. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can you possibly say that's reason? That's not fucking reason.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's ridiculous. Yeah. So But once again, here's the point. What would it matter if we didn't have a glorification of people?
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Right. In Damien's world, right? I know you're going to glorify me. So and if you do, by the way, I'm not going to attack you or something. It's just know that I've already said how I feel. So,
yeah.
But I try to be nice no matter what. But my point is, I'm just saying, in Damien's world, let's just say he is a billionaire. Let's just say, going back to Cory saying he didn't do that. Let's just say he's the smartest brain in the fucking universe that's ever will exist or whatever.
Right.
In Damien's world, who gives a fuck? And that's all I would say.
All that said, he should still be solving world hunger with his billions.
I would go, okay, why don't you feed kids? I mean,
Yep.
So he's a billionaire. Okay, great. How many kids are you feeding?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking serious. He needs to start feeding some kids. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's it. Start feeding some kids. Don't make excuses. Just start giving money. Period. That would be a good sign. Do you like that? What was that one billionaire that said, a rich man that dies with money dies in disgrace? Yeah, that's a great saying. And here's the thing. Don't do it like the rich people kind of did, where they say shit like that, and then they make libraries, right? It's called their name, glorifies them, and it's the wing of Damien or Damien Hall or don't ever do that bullshit for me. That's disgusting as fuck. I'm serious. It's disgraceful.
Or they create a scholarship that benefits one kid per year.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. You could do more. You really could.
No, that's not the right word. You should do more.
Should. Yeah.
Just like I shouldn't hurt people even though I can, you should help because you can.
Yeah.
Do the needful. I have a meme that says that, or whatever, my art thing. Do the needful. But you understand? Because that's my point. If you see like a starving kid, if you see the need, if you do the needful, do what is needed. I don't know how hard that is. That's why I want to try and make it easy, because I know that my thinking I'm trying to make it easy for everybody. Just do what is needed. If someone is starving, feed them. If someone needs education, teach them. Stop being dickheads and attacking people that attack you. You know what? There's a saying that says that the kid that needs love the most does it in the most unloving ways. And I always think psychologically, when a person is, and I'm not saying I can always handle this, but when a person is coming at me, I realize they want to be heard. So the easiest way to stop a person, in my kind of mind control stuff, the easiest way to stop a person is tell them you want to hear what they have to say. Telling you, stop this shit in a heartbeat. They'd be like, what the fuck? Go, you know what? You're right. I want to hear what you I want to hear yourself. What you have to say. Yeah. Please explain. Telling you that you can't be angry when someone wants to hear you. It's hard.
Yeah.
Seriously. Even when you're already hateful, you're like, oh, I want to hate you, but telling you,
you're listening. So yeah. Yeah.
Because here's the thing you understand. Here's why it's powerful. I understand. We're social beings. We like group. Like, have you ever watched Fish? Do you think that they're doing this because they're thinking, or they're going off emotion? They're going off emotion. And like I told you already, right? You already know we are constantly emoting. So what we do is in our ego and stuff. That's why it's emotion, like going crazy. The ego's like an alarm system that's raging. We need to turn it off.
Right.
Not leave it on and bring Christmas lights.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Turn that fucker off. It needs to go off. Anyways, so go ahead and wrap it up. I'll let you go.
All right. I guess thanks for listening to us ramble on here for a couple hours, almost 3 this time. So, yeah, I will let you go.
All right. See you later. Thank you for everybody.
Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist-humanist philosopher and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, agnosticism, atheism, antitheism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheists can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudohistory, pseudomorality, things that are found in religion. I support realism, axiology, of course, liberty, justice, ethics. I am also an anarchist socialist. I support anarchism and socialism, progressivism, liberalism, philosophy, psychology, archaeology, and anthropology, advocating for sexual, gender, child, secular, LGBTQIA+, race, class rights, and equality. So if you can guess from all that, I support or challenge that I have an eclectic variety of videos on a variety of topics. Please take time to check them out, as well as if you enjoy them, please give them a like. And don't forget to subscribe, as new things are on their way all the time for my channel.